live KidCapes update. He said he's almost finished eating dinner, so it's really his fault. When we get started, make sure to throw tomatoes at him or whatever the online equivalent is. Marsh is almost ready. Woohoo! we're almost ready. This is probably the longest I've made people wait to do anything. So it's like 15 minutes out. Looks like KidCapes is ready. Spider is ready. We're just waiting on March. Yeah, no, don't raid me. Don't do any of those weird things. I promise you, it's not worth it. Save those raids for a raidy day. The real question is, can you tell that I'm eating right now? Also, can you guys hear my AC? Because I'm not turning it down. It's really hot over here. Hi, Spider.
Hello.
Hi, KidCapes.
Hello.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
I haven't really read.
Am I? Wait, who's? Okay, hold on, wait. Start talking, kid.
Spider balance or something.
Start talking, KidCapes, but like at a normal speed.
That's crazy.
Okay, you sound good. Stream audio kind of. Oh, sorry, I haven't turned up. Hold on. Wait, talk though, because I have to like adjust the levels or whatever. Go, March, you can talk. Is it okay if I call you March, or do you want me to call you Okay. March. It's because your name on Discord is confusing me. You're the guy from Okay, hold on, wait. This is how I live. Don't tell anybody. Hold on. This is not good. Okay, actually, I'm not gonna do that because I don't want you guys to see my. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to do this, but I'm really confused. I also had a bowl of French fries that I just dropped on the floor.
That is tragic.
I freshly.
I want to add topics for free. I'm just throwing stuff in there.
By the way, we're live, so don't say any of the hate speech that you were thinking about.
Huh?
We're live now.
Yo.
Why are we live now?
I didn't even know that, bro.
We're not even ready.
I was gonna say something like that.
We're ready, adjacent. We're ready, adjacent. Okay.
Not even a warning, bro. We just like.
I was gonna start like eating. That's fucked up.
Okay, hold on. There.
Just munch into the mic.
That's what I would do.
I'm gonna mute now. Whenever I do that.
Oh dang! Look at. Are you guys watching the stream? Because my forum has some pretty good definition. Just go to my YouTube. Just go to my YouTube. Just go to my YouTube.
Hold on, I need to close my 200 tabs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should do that.
Hold on. Oh, I think you're. Wait, why can't I hear you guys? Okay, talk. Say something, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my god, what was that?
We're about to get started. People who are watching us. sorry, I'm not good at any of these things. I am the oldest person on stream right now.
I'm
That's
older
Spyro's
than
older
you.
than you.
Somebody in chat said Marsh also died. What were
Did
you
he die?
talking about?
Oh, because the way the audio was set up was like really weird.
Oh.
But chats, can you guys hear Marsh and KidCapes and Spider? Well, I mean, when they talk, I mean.
Hi, hello.
Good evening.
Bad evening.
Maybe my mic placement's off too.
Is the chat still going? It's not moving for me, so I can't tell.
Okay. So, they're saying everybody else is good except me. What am I doing wrong?
You suck.
Constantly
You're
Well,
old.
this is what it's like when I stream. I don't know how to do it either.
All right.
Are you streaming on Twitch and YouTube, or just YouTube?
I'm
That's
doing
both.
both because you know.
Okay, I'll do both then. I was on YouTube.
I'll put one of them up on my other monitor. Now I have both chats up.
Yeah, you guys should stream too. Wait, no, don't stream, Marsh. You're gonna take everybody.
I'm not streaming. I just wanted to.
I wasn't planning to because I have to set it up.
No, you
Yeah,
can
it's too much
stream
work, bro.
KidCapes. No one's gonna watch it. But
Yo, what's up with this guy, man?
Cause
What even
they're
is your
much
Twitch?
louder than me. Why am I so
Is
quiet?
it LaRue?
I don't know what I'm doing to be so quiet. I'm trying my best.
It is LaRue. Okay, found it.
Okay, is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Let me lower the other thing. Talk
I'm
now.
gonna keep doing questions while it.
Okay. I like turned up my mic sensitivity, and I think that made it worse. Now you can hear my air conditioning. Better?
You might
Okay.
keep it.
All right. Now we're all on equal footing. Should we play something? I wanted to play a game, but I wasn't really sure.
I don't care either way, honestly.
I don't think I can concentrate on both.
It'd be kind of hard.
I mean,
probably.
I'll play a game while you guys talk. No, because I can't. I gotta read the notes.
Play SMT5.
I'm not gonna play SMT5. you gotta
not
pay
gonna
me
play
for
SMT5.
that.
We'll find out in this stream.
You're not gonna play the game of topic, okay?
No, I don't think it's worth doing that. Okay, so in this podcast, for everybody who's watching right now, the main goal is to basically deconstruct the game through a couple of different lenses. We're going to talk about the writing, the gameplay, the design, the music, and then we're going to go over questions. So if during the stream at any point, if you have questions that come to mind, just feel free to drop them in the chat. We're all kind of watching, and we'll address all questions at the end. But this is going to be a deep dive into it. Some aspects are going to be covered more in depth than others because, like, I kind of wanted to get a group together of people who all have expertise. KidCapes is like the lore / mythology person. I think Marsh, in his videos, he goes really in depth with gameplay at times. So I thought it'd be valuable to get a lot of his insight in there. I mean, everywhere really, but there. And then Spider is also very good at lore and Japanese context. And also she's like normal.
Huh?
So
What?
because I think that me and KidCapes are really like nerdy, and then Marsh is a little nerdy, and then Spider's like she's nerdy but not nearly as nerdy. She's like the baseline of what like a normal human might think about the game. So I thought that would be good.
I don't know about that.
So that's the onus, that's the logic, that's why I asked these people specifically. So if you guys are wondering any of those things, and yeah. And no, I'm not white but I am nerdy. Do not call me white.
That is so sad.
All right. With all that being said, we're still putting together just a little bit of like some of the questions we got already to kind of make sure that we're covering that stuff. Yeah. Are you guys ready to start talking about it?
Feel free.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because before we even talk about SMTVV Vengeance, it's really important to talk about the thoughts and feelings of SMT5 because I think that context is very important, and it really frames the way I feel about Vengeance a lot. So I was one of the people who actually liked 5 a lot, or at least more than the average Joe. What were your guys' thoughts on the original release? And why did you like it or dislike it?
I guess I'll go first. I did not like it. Well, I wouldn't say... Okay, it's kind of complicated. Basically, I would say as a game, it's cool, but like as a Mega 10 game, I did not like it. Well, really more as like a JRPG really in general. Like, I'm not that big a fan of... What?
I had to turn you up.
Oh, my bad,
What?
bro. I already stated, I guess. Just generally as like a JRPG, I wasn't like a huge fan of it, but I thought it was just like, if you go with no expectations of like what you like generally, or at least what I like generally, I thought it was all right. But like, I feel like it wasn't made for me, I guess. And I come to SMT for like a specific experience, and that was not that. So.
Okay. So to kind of just to reiterate, so I understand it. You're saying that it basically was fine, but it wasn't a Mega 10-ish game for you, or wasn't Mega 10 enough? Or
basically, I guess, but I wouldn't exactly put it like that.
I'm saying I like that.
Okay then.
All right. Well, what about you, Spider?
I was definitely one of the bigger fans of it, I think. There was a lot I didn't like. The characters were really flat, like everyone says. That's one of the obvious things. There's a lot of quests that don't really lead off to anywhere that they do end up fixing in Vengeance. And just things just drop off, honestly. It's not that they leave out the character arcs and all that. They just drop off. They're not all that interesting.
All right. And then I'm gonna say why I like it, by the way, just because I want to. But after you, Marsh.
Yeah, I thought it was like okay. To me, it's like a sauceless Mega 10 game. Like the story, I like human interactions in Mega 10. This game didn't really have it. Combat was really fun. I also like challenging exploration and didn't have that. And I think being challenged as you're going around the maps and stuff adds a lot to the atmosphere. So to me, it all kind of just added up to like a not very atmospheric game, but had fun combat. So it's like a big portion of the game is fun, but it doesn't have like the feel, I guess, that I wanted from it. So that's basically my thoughts on it.
So it seems like everyone, it seems like everyone was at least mildly positive towards it. I think for me, I liked it because even though it felt pretty divorced from what I think of when I think of Mega 10, kind of like what Glib was saying. Sorry, KidCapes. Oh my god. I just doxed you. But the concepts that I think of when I think of Mega 10, it's kind of like what you were saying, Marsh, about the human interaction. I think that's become pretty integral. I wouldn't say it was at first, but especially with like later games, like when you think of like the really big like flagship titles like 4, like the interaction with all the other characters and NPCs really matter. But I think 5 doesn't have that as much. The music is good, like most Mega 10 games. The plot I thought was fine. It was lacking in the sense that it was trying to do that thing where it left a lot to interpretation, but it did it to the point where there was like almost nothing there, so you had to interpret way too much. Like I guess it's the difference between like watching what is that movie with the top spinning, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
Inception.
It's like, what if that top spinning thing happened like at every turn in Inception, where it just randomly just cut off sections of the story, and then you're just like, oh man, what did it mean when she said hello? Because like you don't even know at that point, because these characters just come and go so often. I feel like that is kind of the vibe I was getting from it, that it just felt like it didn't do what it was trying to do, and it also didn't fall in line with what my expectations of Mega 10 were generally. But I still enjoyed it because after I was digging through the lore and stuff, I figured out the plot, and then when I played Vengeance, I was like, yeah, I was right. I think almost everything that I thought the plot was about was expressed in Vengeance in detail to the point where I'm like, yeah, okay, like, it wasn't. It is a little too much for the layman, but for like a turbo nerd who really is gonna dig deep into every little thing, you can figure it out. But I guess that being said, we gotta talk about Vengeance. Should we first talk about the writing? Or should we go in order in these categories? Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. I just put them as I thought of them. So,
because I think writing wise, we have to talk about the narrative structure and the changes versus like I guess the plot itself of like Vengeance in isolation, because like we talked about it a little bit like amongst ourselves, but the way that Vengeance works is it has the original content as one route, and then Vengeance is a separate route that's divorced from it. But also at the same time, it addresses a lot of issues people had with the original thing. So how do you guys feel about the way that Vengeance approached writing? We'll just do the same order.
okay, I'll start then.
I'm gonna eat one
I
of the fries
liked.
at the
Well, okay, so I liked the new story stuff for the most part until the very end. I thought the very end was pretty bad. It feels like they kind of like forgot what they were doing. Maybe like they forgot it was like a new game. It's very weird to me. Like I think I guess the main thing with it is like it's like the same thing as the base game, and the base game at that point was already at its worst. Well, besides, I think title was good. I think title was fine in the base game, but I think it doesn't really work in Vengeance because it's like nothing new at all. And because of the context, it's changed in Vengeance because it's not about Nahalbino anymore. The importance of the events that happen in Taito, like, it doesn't hit anymore. So I don't think that that flow of events works at all anymore in the way they do it in Vengeance, especially because they don't explain anything about any of the end lore, like Lucifer or like anything like that. And I think they really missed out on a lot of stuff they could have done with the snakes in general. I feel like, okay, so this is kind of weird, but I think the way like okay, so like in SMT5 Vengeance, one of the things is like the character. I guess not really base 5, but Vengeance gives a lot more time for the characters to talk about their motivations, stuff like do the debates and such, right? And I think that it spends a lot of time like talking about it, but they don't really say much. Is the issue for me. And I thought it was like it had really interesting concepts, but because they didn't spend enough time like actually delving into them, I didn't really get much out of it. But I did enjoy the back and forth, though. I think SMT needs more of that, and so I'm not mad at it. But like, it could have been a lot more. So I was disappointed in that. I think it was pretty good until the very end. So I can't complain about that.
See, but I think that part of what you're saying basically just amounts to the idea that part of Vengeance does kind of predicate itself on you actually kind of having a fundamental understanding of 5 in the first place.
It does, yes.
And I think that's why it kind of suffers, or at least that in the way that you're describing. I
wouldn't disagree, but I think that you're supposed to play 5 Force anyway. That's how I normally do stuff. So I wouldn't really. That's a bad thing entirely.
You say that, but they market it as you can play either one first. But,
that's true, but I think that's dumb in the first place. So
yeah, after playing it, because the way I played it was I played 5, then I played Canon of Creation to see if there's any real differences, and there really isn't. And then I played Vengeance. But then when I was reading the interviews, they say it multiple times that you don't have to play Vengeance or 5 first or Canon of Creation first. You can do either or. But that's a lie.
Yeah, it's definitely not true.
You really should play Creation first.
Where they're like, the events assume you have played 5. Like the scene with Abigail in the end, like it's assuming you know what happened to her.
Yeah,
love like that. It's just weird.
The same with Dazai's development too. It assumes you know what happened in Chiyoda.
Yeah. Also, someone mentioned the final boss too. That was like the death knell for me. Like I like Vengeance still, but like at that moment when I fought the final boss, I was like, oh my god, this is like the most disappointing ending to a SMT game I've ever played. Like that really killed the end for me. Which is sad too, because I'm not really a big Doi fan, but like I really enjoyed the second to last final boss in the Law Route. So I was like, wow.
I did too.
Yeah.
On multiple levels. But my thing is, I've I think that what happened when I started researching Doi as a whole, like just his whole like career, I kind of realized I was being a huge Doi hater for most of my time on the internet. And then after reading it, like I did change my mind. I'm not a Doi believer yet necessarily, but I definitely don't hate him anymore. And I have come to appreciate the way that he kind of brings something new to the table. It's just the new things that he brings isn't always what I like.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right, Spider. All right. Wait, did you already say what you thought about the story?
No, I didn't.
All right, start talking.
So the writing. There's a lot that interconnects, like from the FERT-based, creation route. You see lots of little interconnected commentary. There's we call it the voice request. It kind of, the kid wishes to get rid of demons and stuff, and it just ties into that neutral ending from Vanilla. And you see all kinds of things that are just referencing the events in subtle ways from that. And there's just, I don't know, lots of fan service. Like the original had a lot of fan service, and it doesn't really do much for much of anything. But it's a lot nicer in Vengeance. You have things like expanding on Yakumo's character. It's something that's completely missable. Same with Miyazu. And I like those, especially. Well, Miyazu's is fine. I mean, she gets kidnapped 3 times, so her character doesn't change all that much. Same with Sahori. They don't really change all that much with her either.
I don't know. I think that the Sahori in Vengeance is super different because the way that they approach it is like, sure, she has the same arc, but now Tao is actually a friend instead of just someone who says that she's her friend.
Yeah, no, that is definitely better. They give the girls especially a lot more agency, excluding Sahori. But, that's more of a refrigerator trope kind of thing going on. No, Sahori was always meant to be just character development fodder for Tao. That's it. That's what she was meant for. And I don't like it, but that's...
What are your thoughts, Marsh? Because to me, the main thing that I think is like, when it comes down to it, I always think about how we didn't get a game that they promised us, and that's not necessarily something that they have to deliver on. Because there's so many games where they talk about it way early in development, and then the end product is completely different. Like Tokyo Mirage Sessions is a great example of that. But for this one, if it really feels like, when I look at the box art of the original, I'm like angry because it's like doesn't represent the game at all.
I don't know. The plot's kind of the same, isn't it? I mean, there's the whole Kadishtu and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's still, you've got the factions that everyone asked for from 4. Like, we want factions warring and doing all that stuff. We got that, but nobody cares.
Those factions kind of suck, though. That's kind of why, though. Like, the factions in
don't
Vengeance,
suck,
like,
though.
Bethel
That's
has,
the
like, no
thing.
place in the game, really. They're relevant for, like, one section, and, like, it's just, like, Odin and Zeus saying hi, and then they die. And then, like, the Kadishtu have, like, a team, but, like, it's not really, like, a big team, right? Like, they don't have any humans either. It's just, like, 4 people, so...
Yeah, well, it's like, it's not just that the factions are thrown off. It's just, a lot of it is just trying to show that Bethel is overpowering Japan, right? Japan is completely diminished of power. They used it up during the, what do you call that? The war. 18 or 20 years ago, depending on whatever character's talking, I guess. And, it builds up that, they're underpowered. They don't have a lot of say. And, it builds up for Tsukiyomi's route because he wants to, basically empower Tokyo to be equal to the other branches, which they're not. And there are those other branches also, like the Mesopotamian branch doesn't have a say, and there's a couple others that don't have a say too.
Yeah, which I think that's actually a really big flaw I had with Vengeance, or something that I thought was a flaw, is that the way that the more they expand on the concept of these branches, the more I'm like, this system makes no sense. It's almost like, what if there was a bipartisan system for like deities, except there's only one deity that will ever be in power, and the rest of them are just supporting that hierarchy forever. Like, I didn't really understand what the benefit of even having a branch. Like, why would Anansi want to like be like a major player in this system when he's not going to ever like be like the head honcho? What's the point of that? I didn't understand that, actually.
I think it made sense before Vengeance, because like before in like base V, it's implied that like Bethel existed purely to like keep God in power, right? Like they existed just for him to keep them in line. So I think that made sense, but with Anansi, it's kind of weird. Like I guess maybe it's
Anansi
implied
is
that
just
like
trying to
being a branch
survive.
gives some like benefits, maybe somehow, but.
I think he's just trying to survive. Honestly, it's
Yeah,
like
probably.
their culture is fading, not due to their own fault. But
Depending on who you ask.
I like Anansi's part, but I hate Onyal Capone. I think he's terrible.
I think Onyal Capone's quest could make sense if it wasn't in that. It just doesn't make sense in that context.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all in that context.
No, it's even worse when you like even just learn about any of those deities, especially Onyankopon or Nyame or Nyabe. He has a million names. Like, his function in SMT5 is so stupid compared to like his actual mythology, where he's literally like equated to Yahweh, but better. He's like the cooler like deity, the cooler creator god, in my opinion. And we have the divine feminine that's canon to that mythology, and I was like hoping that they would have her. Like, I think her name is Nazambe or something like that, and I was kind of expecting her to show up too, just as like a hidden thing or be mentioned, and I didn't see that. I even like looked at the Japanese script to see maybe if it was in Japanese, but no, just wasn't for some reason.
Yeah, I feel like Vengeance is a lot of missed opportunities for me.
Okay, now Marsh, you can talk about your feelings.
I might restate some things that are kind of already said, but I feel like I'm taking a couple steps back here. But basically, yeah, like Vengeance takes a more character-driven approach, which I really liked. I love seeing more of Yuzuru. He really needed it. More of Dazai a little bit. He definitely needed it. I even liked Tao quite a bit by the end. I thought Yoko was fun. Having them on your team is really big for me and kind of gets my imagination going, gets me immersed. The stats and their moves and stuff like that. I thought the Kadishtu were really cool. I liked how they kept popping up throughout the game. Kind of keeps you like motivated, I guess, and with a clear goal in mind, which is maybe a little different than the original. I talked about this in my review, but it's kind of like a simple plot structure. Maybe they wanted to like play it safe after the criticisms from the original. It's like you have like a very good kind of happy ending, or kind of just blow it all away. It almost reminded me of Digital Devil Story 2, just like a very basic law and chaos back and forth. I'm with KidCapes, and I thought like the final 15 minutes were like kind of corny. I think the game could have ended at Tahome, and it would have been like fine, but it's my basic thoughts. I thought it was better, but I prefer like the character interaction, so that's why I liked it better.
I definitely agree.
All right, so I mean, let's go. There's a couple of specific like fan things. I'm glad that that KidCapes put it on the docket, but like the obvious question is, who is your favorite like character in Vengeance? For me, it was Amabie.
The narcissistic mermaid.
Yeah, I thought she was funny. She's cute. I was actually kind of expecting her to loop in a little more somehow, but I knew it didn't make any sense. But that's who I liked more. I also liked the pimply guy more. I forgot his name. Dazai?
Dazai, yeah.
Yeah, I liked him more because the added backstory, I was like, dang, his life sucks. Like, no one
yeah, everyone hates him, bro.
Yeah.
They want him dead, bro.
But I liked it. I liked it so much. I was like, it's good to have this kind of characterization in mainline, because otherwise, like, how can you really attach, like, or ascribe any kind of personality to them? I liked that they had distinctive personalities that were also different from other like alignment characters. You know, it made it fun to me. That was actually one of the strongest parts of the game for me, was just that added characterizations. And also, no, I will not clean my shelves. I'm in the middle of organizing everything, so no.
I see Soul Hackers 2 back there, I think.
There's,
That
do
box.
you? Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, it is.
If you look in the top left, there's just some random pants.
Oh, I see.
Right next to the Soul Hackers box, it's just pants. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah. Your guys' favorite character?
Oh, right.
Oh, you go first, Mark. You got it.
I don't really have a good reason for it, but it's Tao, because like in the canon creation, I don't think they really like characterize her at all. And it's like not Mega 10 at all, but something about her being just like genuinely like nice and like not crazy. I thought it was kind of funny.
Cute girls who say nice things.
Yeah, kinda. And then, she dies like 5 times, and I like her final like reincarnated form, reincarnated goddess form. I thought it was pretty cool. Like the blue one, I wish you could keep her around with that one, but definitely Tao. I loved Yoko too. It's pretty close. Sometimes she says like a couple things that I think are really corny though. So
Yeah, the thing with Yoko that really got me is some things she says are just so funny because there's like really not any context for them, like the car thing.
The car thing's
like,
very funny. Yeah.
But it's so true. I hate cars too. I'm like, thanks, base Yoko. But then she'll randomly be like, you should kill you should be able to kill for your best friend. And I'm like, what? If my best friend was like, I want to kill this girl, I'm not gonna like support them. I'm gonna report them to the police. Sorry, my friendship ends at ending someone's life. I don't know. But Yoko was like, all right, do it.
It's like
She's very funny.
the car thing. Like I agree with it, but it almost felt to me like the writers were like, oh, like we said last time, we're gonna address like all these topics, and like, all right, Yoko, say something about cars, say something about unemployment, and then like check it off. I don't know. That's what it felt like to me.
You know what? Now that you mention it, they did say that SMT5 is going to touch on like the unemployment rate, on
They
like
did,
the fears of like that the young adults have and stuff. And I'm like, maybe Yoko is addressing it all.
That's what it is, I think.
With
She's gonna
cars.
list things off. She talks about all kinds of stuff, like she like justifies like letting someone die for no reason in like one of those quests. What's that demon? It starts with a V.
Wyvern, yeah.
And she's like, well, maybe it's okay that you let him get killed. He's like weird shit like that.
Yeah, because that's what he wanted. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny
She's
with that
funny.
quest too. If you side with Tao, the game just straight up it tells you, oh yeah, Tao was right.
Yeah.
I wish I would have saw that. I'd saw the Yoko one.
I reloaded to see because I was like, okay, I gotta see this, and it turned out exactly like I thought it would.
Yeah, I think they included Yoko to like say they touched on certain things maybe, but I guess it's better than not doing it ever, since they said they were going to.
I wasn't too much a fan of the like, oh, it's my turn to talk. Apocalypse does it too. It's like, oh yeah, everyone needs a time, just a moment to speak, and it's just really obnoxious.
Persona 5 does it the most. It's like someone falls down and then every single Phantom Thief has to react to them falling. It's like, I get it. You all feel something, but I don't need to know everybody's reaction to this.
I didn't mind it. I just wish she like actually said something of note when that happened. So I feel like I said before, I feel like when she talks a lot of time, she just says nothing, and it's like doesn't really add to much, you know.
There's a funny moment with this if you side with Kudalak, and they just pause and she just stops and she says, yeah, okay, I have something to say about this. I don't know if that happens with Kresnik, but it's
It's worse because Kresnik comes out and says like, he basically says like people need to be like stepped on.
Sacrificed.
Yeah. It's pretty weird, but I like him as a demon. I used him for the rest of the game, but I was like, I don't really know what your point is with that. I don't really agree with that.
He's like, they're murdering people, but they shouldn't murder because they suck. They should be lower class scum. I'm like, oh, okay,
with
true. Bro.
Kudalak, you get to drink the student's blood.
Really?
And,
I didn't know that.
you get a choice of drinking blood or not.
That's very weird.
Yeah, and then they go on a trip about sacrifices, and Tao is pro-sacrifice, and Yoko's anti-sacrifice.
Tao is pro-sacrifice?
Yeah.
What? That
Yep.
doesn't sound right.
I assume
Yeah,
the logic is
that's-
that when you do law, you have to make certain sacrifices to make it work. I'm assuming that's the logic.
Well, it doesn't happen
Yep.
in the ending.
Yeah, it does.
Does it?
Wow,
Yeah.
someone wasn't paying attention. Someone was. Busy
Well, no,
watching the
it's
Martian
not your.
video.
It's not his fault. It's like it does happen. It doesn't say it happens.
Who
In
gets
the ending.
sacrificed in the law ending?
The ending
But
is
they
weird,
do.
though.
Sacrifices do happen in the law ending.
It's only explained in the scrap text. That's why.
Yeah, and the Kublai quest.
Oh yeah, okay, that's why. Because I read the script too to refresh my memory, so now I'm like, how can you tell when it's? Well, actually, never mind. That's probably a question for some other time.
Well, so wait,
Yeah.
what is it then?
Wait.
Like, what is it?
KidCapes.
Like, how's it
Kid
go?
Capes,
Yo.
your favorite character is going to be Dazai.
I don't have like one favorite for Vengeance. I think if I had to pick one, it would be Dazai probably.
See,
But I
yeah.
like Yoko a lot too, though. Like I feel like if they did more with Yoko, like if she talked more about like stuff that I thought was like pertinent, she'd be my favorite easily. Honestly, I like Tao in this game too, though, because like in the base game I hated Tao. She was like awful. I think
She
base
wasn't
game
even a
meta she wasn't even in the
character.
game. Honestly, to be honest.
Yeah, she wasn't in the game.
She was basically like Sahori.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Oh,
like Tao in the new version because she's like Madoka, and I'm like, stop with your dumb hope. Sorry, it's because I rewatched
That's an insane
Madoka
comparison.
Magica recently. After the DX2 like Madoka content, I rewatched the movie, and I was like, man, like I kind of hate Madoka. She's kind of annoying, and then she reminds me of Tao. So.
I think they're both cool though. I like them together. Like I like the character dynamic. I just wish that across the game it was like more back and forth. I feel like at the start it was very unbalanced, and then Tao just did a lot of dumb shit and just got off free, and that didn't make sense to me. But I think, but yeah, they're all cool. I don't have one favorite. They're all pretty cool.
I think I have a completely different answer for all of this.
Is it gonna be?
It's
positive or negative?
Koshimizu and Yakumo.
Oh, okay. Yakumo makes sense. Koshimizu.
Yeah,
Gets
I don't
more
like
credit.
Koshimizu.
Okay, right. Koshimizu ends up being like Tao, where it's a very pristine character, and it's not that interesting, right? But I do like that they explore his, responsibilities that he's failing the entire time in the original and this one. And in the original, they never say anything about it. They never address that his failures at all. And he's just failing upward the entire game.
Yeah.
That's most politicians, isn't it?
But I do like that they address that here, and they also address his original ending in Creation 2, about how thoughtless his actions are, honestly. And I do like that, especially with Miyazu and all that. I think that works out really well, although I don't think he's that interesting still, but I do like all those small things that add up, and how they tie into the new law ending too. They're very similar in how certain ways.
I think my hot take is that I prefer Koshimizu on base game than Vengeance. I feel like Vengeance explained more stuff, but it was all boring stuff. I liked it more when like I could pretend he had a better motivation, like when he was manipulating Yuzuru in base game. I think that'd be a cool idea. So I don't like Vengeance.
He's still manipulating Yuzuru, definitely, to get what he wants.
Kind of, but like in Vengeance, his frame is like positive, like he's like doing him a favor.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer it when it was like when they both were like less characterized, so it felt more like Yuzuru was like slowly being manipulated to like turning evil, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think when you after the fight with the Kadishtu and everybody dies, there's Yuzuru dies, Koshimizu survives, the protagonist survives, Aoyami dies, right? And I like how that shows off, like, he regrets that decision, right? He saved himself over Yuzuru. And I think he regrets that throughout the whole, up until, he gets killed off again.
I don't think he saved himself. I'm pretty sure that they just murdered him, right? I think they just like cut him off guard and they murdered.
Yeah, but
Yuzuru.
they get defused, but he could have probably died instead of having Yuzuru die, because if he died, then they would have left Yuzuru alone, just like they leave the protagonist alone because Aoyami's gone.
That could be true. I assume they just attacked Yuzuru because he was weaker and he was just a human. but I was just a guess.
I'm not sure why they honestly, but it's probably because of that.
Dazai did it because of that time User grabbed him. He's pissed off at him.
It could actually be true. Honestly.
Deep down, he actually hated him or something.
It could be because the Bethel initiative is to kill the knowledge too, because they've been throughout the whole game. There's like little hints of them killing off the students secretly.
Yeah, that's like a thing that I was annoying me because in the original you get the same idea, but in this one they kind of make it like really obvious. So like it's in the background, but if you talk to all the characters, it's like super obvious what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the things I don't like is that whole concept of some of the concepts that were not as hard to understand. I think they kind of go overboard in this game with over-explaining it. So like that, I mean, that's probably a fine example of them kind of adding more examples or more hints. But sometimes something that's pretty obvious, they'll talk about it a lot, or they'll have a lot of NPCs also drive home the same point, and I'm like, why are you guys stressing this so much? I understand already. I understand.
You understand, but almost everyone else doesn't. That's why they keep reiterating the same thing over and over, because people didn't notice it.
But that's
even in the original, they directly tell you that the angels were killing the students because you have to talk to all the students in the fairy forest, and there's one that tells you like, hey, I saw this happening.
Yeah, they tell you, but the thing that's, I guess, what's bothering me is like that over-explaining thing is like a Persona thing. It doesn't happen so much in mainline. So in mainline, them doing it, I'm like,
yeah, it does feel very hand-holdy.
Yeah,
but I get it. You're right, though. I do think that also this game does cater to, like, since it's trying to cast a wider net, they probably do have to do that in order to ensure everyone can understand, or the people who care about that kind of thing will see it at some point.
I think some of the really early on quests too really hammer that in, and like they have the what is it, Nozochi? Have the Buddhist introduction quest.
I was like, calm down, I get it. Wait, Spider. Why sorry, actually no, never mind. That's a dumb question. Okay, I'm gonna handhold everybody into the next topic. I want to talk about the Nocturne connection, because I don't know how everyone else feels, but the prevailing narrative. So you guys know that I've made like 5 or 6 videos about how Nocturne isn't connected to anything, or how, like, you know, SMT5 is on an island kind of thing. But ever since Vengeance came out, I've been getting so many comments that I randomly be like, and now it's confirmed Nocturne is connected, or now it's confirmed Two Demon ending is the canon ending, and I'm just like, because it's in one game, like it's a DLC. My big thing about the whole Nocturne situation is this: in the original context, SMT5 came out, the Nocturne content was DLC you can opt into, but in Vengeance it's already on disc, so you get the DLC for free, but that changes the context of how you experience it. So it makes it part of the baked-in story, as instead of being secondary content that was not necessarily meant to be story-driven. So people are interpreting it as being intentionally part of the story instead of just DLC that's free now.
Wait, just to clarify, you know, it's not the only thing, you know, right? There's more than that now.
Yeah, there's more than that. But but that's my, I think that's my big onus, like, or the big thing that's bothering me is I think that's the driving force behind it, because that's one of the things that people keep telling me is that, well, it's like baked into it, it's right there, it's, you know, I know there's more, but that's my big thing. My big takeaway is that it's not connected to Nocturne, and I'm not going to elaborate because it'll take a lot forever and this podcast will get really boring.
I haven't seen that argument. I think I would disagree with that one, but I feel like we're at a point now with Vengeance where, like, Atlas will just say anything at any point to reference the game, and I just don't take it seriously anymore. Unless it's like actually plot relevant, and it's like an offhand reference, I just can't care about it. Because they also reference SMT1. Like, what am I supposed to say about that? Like,
yeah, they reference SMT1, 2, Persona 5 a lot for some reason.
Yeah.
They reference Berserk a couple times for some reason. It's one of the items that you can find in some of the trash. It's a Berserk reference, and they're like, oh. It's dumb. It's irrelevant. But
I noticed that. Okay.
it's because I read everything again to see if there's anything new, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot there's all these random like anime and manga references, but I don't know them all. I just knew that one because
I like the folklore references a lot more, like the red shoes with Omoshuvu, or the Oni quest with, you know, the red Oni, blue Oni. They actually finished that one in this one instead of in vanilla where they leave it half finished.
That's true. Okay, so that's actually a really good strength for this game, is that because of they added way more side quests, and also the way they build out the characterization through going to the haunts, it really does make the demons more interesting, and also they reference where they come from a lot more, like you were saying, and that I liked a lot. Actually, that was actually my favorite, one of the best parts of the game.
The Kinemon quest too, that is amazing.
Yeah, I agree. That's my favorite side quest, honestly. That one's great.
Back to... I looked into this a lot, and I'm really inconclusive on it, honestly. Like, I don't think it's completely connected, like, directly, because there's three different conceptions, maybe, but the game only references 2.
Yeah.
But if you include the Nocturne content, it would be 3, which doesn't really make sense. The first one is with Lamu witnessing Baal lose the throne. And the second one is 18 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But with Nocturne, it would be 3, because they're all in different locations.
Yeah.
The Nocturne one happens in Shinjuku Hospital, and the other one happens in Minato at the Diet Building.
Yeah. We basically
say it again?
What?
They mentioned 3 separate locations for the conception: the Diet Building, the hospital, and
wherever that happens with Lamu.
Chiyoda.
Yeah, whatever the Lamu.
No, Chiyoda. The Diet Building is in Chiyoda, but in the game, and it's in Minato.
Yeah.
That's why they're so close together.
Yeah.
Oh, it's.
I don't remember them saying
Chiyoda, but it's actually in Minato.
No, but someone says Chiyoda, like the word Chiyoda when they say that.
Yeah, they do say Chiyoda.
Yeah. Oh no, in real life, the Diet Building is in Chiyoda, but in the game, it's in Minato, because the 2 areas are really close together.
Oh.
But that area is actually part of Chiyoda in real life.
Odd.
But
it's like like with Shinagawa, that's not actually Shinagawa where you start the game. It's Minato.
Yeah.
It's just called the Shinagawa Business District, but it's in Minato. The Shinagawa Station is also in Minato.
This is complicated.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I never thought about
There's more.
Now you understand why we got Spider on, because I was like, I need someone to gut check us. But the main reason why it's not connected to Nocturne is that the Nocturne conception is nothing like the conception they're talking about, and the main conception they're talking about in this game has to do with the Shekinah glory. In my opinion, my interpretation is the Shekinah glory, which is the creation of the false Tokyo. And that's not the same thing as what they're doing in Nocturne. It's a completely different thing, started by a completely different thing, using completely different... Sorry, what?
I would have thought the conception in 5 was when the demons came through in the first place, not when the thing was made, not when the Shekinah glory was made.
But I thought the
Shekinah glory was 18 years ago.
Yeah.
At the same time as the Diet Building conception. The Nocturne one
all occurred at the same time,
the Nocturne one they say happened 20 years ago. 20 years ago is also when Amaterasu disappeared.
Okay.
I gotta stop you right there, though. When they say 20 years ago, it's like a vague 20 years. They don't like.
No, they say
definitely do not mean
20 years.
18.
They don't say about 20 years.
They say about 20 years once. I think two demons say about, but
a bunch say about. Let's get that straight first off.
Yeah, a bunch say about, but they say 20 years ago.
I do want to correct myself really quick, because I said Shekinah glory is the conception, but no, the Shekinah glory happens as a result of the conception, because yeah, it's not the same thing. It's 2 separate events that happen at the same time or around the same time.
I agree with that.
It happens after, because
Yeah.
But really, I think ultimately, it doesn't really matter if SMT3 is canon to like 5, the CDE, because I feel like events are so different that it doesn't actually say anything about Nocturne. Like it's just like a cool like trivia thing. So like at that point, who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't care.
There's some other stuff like in Taito that kind of are similar
Spider,
to Nocturne, but it doesn't
don't build.
necessarily mean it's the same world.
It's not the same world. They literally cannot be the same world.
It does not make sense at all.
It doesn't make sense to be the world. I agree with that. But there are some things that are similar about the worlds. Like if you go to Oxcot, whoop, I said that wrong. Oxcot. You'll see that the map is similar to where the obelisk was in Nocturne.
Yeah, that's true.
In the same area, and that looks similar, but there's also just the three different conceptions. Doesn't make sense when the game only references 2 multiple times. But the DLC does say, hey, this world was remade once before, and it is alluding to Nocturne. But if you go to the original in Tao's commentary, or not Tao's, the creational goddess, the blue one, she mentions that she ascended and recreated the world once before with the creator.
Yeah, which is.
Maybe you can also mention this
not Lucifer
world
because
too, though,
Lucifer can't
it
recreate
can't be
the
this.
world.
Maybe well, I guess this can't like this could be something else because like apparently there's a multiverse thing going on clearly, so like it could be a different Demi-Fiend, of course. But like Demi-Fiend, the Demi-Fiend in the DLC says not him, but like I think it's Red Rider maybe or White Rider. One of the writers says they're from different worlds, so it doesn't really make sense.
I think Sophia says it too, that they're from different worlds, so they're not from the same world.
It's weird, man. I don't know.
Another thing is though that they also call their protagonists another worlder, so that's
They do what?
Yeah, they say the protagonist is from another world too.
I remember they do that for like the Satan quest, but besides that, I don't remember that.
They say it for Mastema too, right?
No, Mastema just he receives knowledge from another world. He doesn't actually come from another world.
It could be. Could be. I think you could argue it maybe, but like it's not clear for sure because he says that it could be from the world. You don't know that though.
Oh, I know.
He comes from a different country.
Yeah, he says he receives a vision from another self from another world, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
I think he's referencing that when he talks about the Kadishu though, because remember, he mentions that the Kadishu.
I think he's talking about himself, because he has a vision of himself dying, and he receives all that, and then that's why he gathers up his essence and Lucifer's essence and Samael's essence to summon Satan.
Do you think the writers actually have a plan for it, or do you think it's just like they say 20 years ago so that people like me can say, "Oh, that's when Nocturne came out on a PS2." That's what I think it is.
It's an absolute fucking mess, but they have a plan for it. There is something there. It does make sense in some way. It's so jumbled up. It's hard to say.
Yeah. It's a reference, but also it's like a vague timeline thing going on too. So it's like
Yeah,
it's just
and it is the vortex. It is Dot in the vortex world, so not everything necessarily lines up in a neat, clean timeline.
Yeah, well, I mean that just brings us back to the whole bubble theory, the idea that there's all these like these worlds that are touching but they're not the same world necessarily, and I think that's kind of what it's supposed to be hinting at. But it just infuriates me because they keep drawing these comparisons, which makes it more convoluted than it needs to be. And then people, because people don't like the messiness, they'll draw the conclusion that it's the same thing because it's easier than having all these caveats of being like, it's kind of like this, but this, but this, but this.
I think they're also emphasizing the bubble theory with all the disco eggs in the sky, too.
Yeah, I think so, too. Point is, if you say it's connected to Nocturne, you're right only in that it references Nocturne a lot and that it's probably connected on some superficial levels, but it's not the same world.
So you're wrong.
I was being nice.
I mean, it's thematically connected, especially with Lucifer and his character arc. That's for sure. Because it's definitely building off like what he was working towards in Nocturne, for sure.
But let's also address the fact that people keep saying that like that True Demon ending is canon now because of this.
They're all canon.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
I know people hate this. It's like everything is canon, even the stuff you don't like.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because I'm like, they're all canon, but at the same time, just because the most popular like quest line in Nocturne is represented in 5 doesn't mean anything beyond that's the most popular and emblematic reference to Nocturne they could have possibly made was a thing referencing the Chandelabra or whatever. What are they actually
I
called?
think Satan's
Yeah,
fight
menorahs.
also, like his commentary also shows like, hey, yeah, everything is canon. This all matters.
Yeah, which which by the way, well actually no, we'll save that for later on.
This man just filled with hate today, bro. It's crazy.
Okay. So then the one one of the things that I did want to talk about is like just the changes in general. For me, I felt like a lot of the changes were minor and like I didn't really have any strong feelings about the changes. Is what I'm trying to say. They felt pretty inconsequential, except when it got towards the end, where then I was like, why? Like literally, that's what I kept saying to myself while I was playing. I was like, why? Every time, every single new revelation, like 3/4 of the way in, that's what I kept saying, and I wrote in my script why with a bunch of question marks. So
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I think, well, I would say the changes are like mostly good for like the actual structural stuff. But I think the like gameplay wise, I think it was like a little too easy maybe, but that's a different issue. But like lore wise, that like the new lore is like pretty stupid. Like all of it makes no sense to me. It's like very weird, but like at least I will say it's pretty original. So I can't hate it that much, but
that's
it's just
true.
very like weird to read.
Okay, when I think about like endings of Megaten games, the fact that it didn't make me think of any other ending really was that's a positive. You know, I don't know. I didn't immediately draw comparisons, which is kind of what I did with like the original game. I was automatically thinking about how it like stacks up. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like when I got the endings in Vengeance, I was just like, oh, okay, it's the end of the game now. I don't think either of them are that good. I just think they're okay. I don't think about them that much at all, really.
I actually have a question. You probably know the answer. Somebody probably does. Do you think, like, the characters, the Kadishtu, do you think using that term Kadishtu is, like, warranted? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they actually do anything that represents what that was? Because I don't really know too much about it. It's like a word that I've never heard before this game at least.
I think it actually fits both the actual meaning of Kadishtu and the like weird, like wrong science name of Kadishtu, because the actual name is in referencing to like wet nurses that were like of a spiritual nature that would basically bring up children in like a yeah. So it was more related to that, and I think in reference to this birthing a new world and kind of tending to it, that's kind of really fitting. And then also the like being a prostitute kind of fits because they're all pretty sensual, I guess.
No, yeah, that definitely makes sense. I appreciate it. I was just curious.
No, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they're called like prostitutes in the game too, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah. So
There's some small dialogue too that hints at their actual nature instead of their demonization too, which is nice. Also, I thought it was weird they changed the race name from what is basically witch.
Joma, sorry.
Yeah, or Demon Queen. It would be more like Demon Queen, huh? To just Kadishtu again. That's kind of weird.
They probably figured it was just the easy way to the simplest way to make it, you know.
Though they are cowards for cutting the original Lilith design out of the game. Pretty cringe.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
This of the Kadishtu, I think Lilith is probably my least favorite.
Really?
No, but sorry. Go
she
ahead.
lacks charisma.
Wait, no. You have to use modern lingo. She lacks riz.
No riz.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's like
I'm going to utter that.
My second favorite, probably.
She's got skibbity toilet Ohio riz.
All right, bro. Back to nursing on you.
Oh, it's like early in the game, right? You meet her a bit. She does her info dumps on the system is oppressing us. And then you get to where she's basically advocating, you know, we would want to free ourselves from this oppression and stuff. And she goes and kills off the one character that fits well with her arc. So, and it's just like, well, if that's how you're going to treat people that are, you know, going through the same thing you are, this is not a good start.
Well, to be fair, I think to some degree this is actually not really like maybe on purpose, but I think that the game is actually just called SMT Vengeance. Like I think for the motivation for the characters, a lot of it is actually just like hatred for them. It's not just going to save people. I think that's a major part of it.
Yeah, it's more like an accumulation.
Oh, definitely.
Which I like that. I liked how they kind of embody the word vengeance conceptually. But yeah, Aishet's better. I like that she's just kind of deranged. And
she's my favorite too.
She's also always
Chaos.
hungry, which is
she's the GOAT.
Yeah,
I fuck with her.
Chaos is always very self-centered too, so that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, so is the nerdy pimply guy. He's pretty self-centered.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just, you know, how they portray it as just, what do you call it? Just indulging in your desires and not really thinking of the consequences, whereas order is more restraining yourself and, you know, giving up things for the greater good. Which is not necessarily the greater good.
Here's my logic for why they should have had the original Lilith design also present. The way they conceptualize demons is essentially their fabrication, or there are like our thoughts and feelings of these characters, which is why they like change over time or whatever, right? So why wouldn't there be a prostitute Lilith and like an epic, like sensual, like 80s bombshell Lilith at the same time? Wouldn't the people from the 80s still be alive? Oh, I guess not. Never mind.
Well, they should have kept her just because now it's like, I don't know, like a lost demon or whatever. Like you can't get her anymore.
Well, she wasn't really doing much in the original anyway, so I guess it's okay. But yeah,
I guess it's fine. They delisted the game though, so it's like for the people who really care, I guess. One little demon you can't get.
Oh, I wanted to ask you guys about what is it called? The way that they explain the Tao transformation and the Yoko transformation, or just Tao and Yoko in general, because my understanding of both is that neither of them are really like when they transform, they're not them anymore. That's the like the essence, the like that's like the whatever.
Okay, so I think that Tao isn't when she has the horns, but I think when they have like the symbol around, not the symbol, but like the top suit in their face, you can see their faces. I think that's actually them.
Yeah,
because
it is.
You can see in the end when they go to the Empyrean, when Yoko and Tao are talking, it's still clearly like Yoko talking, like she has feelings about the characters, like it's clearly them.
Well, when she comes back in like the red suit, she says it's not her, Tao. She says the Tao
she does, but I think at that point it's like it's a reincarnation where she has the memories, so it's not like exactly her, like because she died, of course, but like she has the memories, like so she's still like kind of her, but like not really because she died. But I think Yoko is actually just Yoko.
So do you think that it's more like how in like Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei, their past selves are like the gods, but they also are their current selves too, so they're kind of like separate but also the same kind of being, more or less? I don't really understand.
Probably.
I think the best example for this would be like in SMT1 when like the heroine dies and she comes back, but she's like the same person still. I think it's like that.
Yeah, I think that's like that for Tao and Yoko, but for the
SMT1
Blue Goddess, I think that's a completely different character.
Wait, hold on, Spider. What did you say? The who dies?
The heroine.
That's not how you say that word. Heroine?
Who cares, bro?
I care.
Oh my god, bro.
The heroine?
Why?
Wait, it's heroin, right? Not heroine. I don't even know how you say it.
Yeah, it's like the drug. It's
the drug.
Heroin, bro. What's up with this guy, man? I thought this man was being serious for a second, bro. That's so crazy.
Intellectual talk. Go back to do that.
I don't remember what I was saying now. Okay, but yeah, I think that when you can see their faces, I think that's actually them. But I think like when Tao gets like the horns, it's not her.
It's definitely not. She like does this weird like freaky scream.
Yeah.
That like freaked me out a little bit. It's kind of creepy. Like it like takes over.
This nigga's still laughing, bro. Oh my god, I hate him.
I wish she kept that blue horn form for a little like longer. It's kind of like interesting. That whole like last 2 hours is really good. Until Lucifer.
I had to mute myself.
Oh my god. Anyway, next topic, man. Where are we at? What was everyone's favorite ending?
Law ending.
That was also mine. But like I said before, I'm like, on both of them. So
why would you pick the other one? Like from a character perspective, like why would you pick it just doesn't seem right.
I think a lot of people relate it to like Yoko's whole cause in general. I feel like I would have gone Chaos too personally if like she explained it better. Like I think for me, Yoko didn't really like go in depth about what she wanted for the future and like what it actually meant for people who live there now. For me to choose her, for me to choose her Chaos ending. But I feel like if she did, I would have chosen it. I think people like really resonated with like the basic idea of her ending and just went with that.
They actually do kind of mention that. Not directly, but they do kind of mention it. I mean, she ends human history. So the reason why Amitabh is upset is because none of those people are reborn. They're gone.
No, I get that part.
Human history is gone. Like,
what is her actual plan for after the world is destroyed? Is what I mean. Like they don't actually explain that, and I get why they don't. I think it's on purpose for one. So if you notice in the endings, they show the law ending, like they show the world at the end of the law ending, but they don't in Chaos. I think that's on purpose for one point. I think it's because they want to like stress how because we live in a world that's law right now, we can't really picture a world that isn't under that framework. I think that's the point. I'm guessing that. I'm not sure for sure, but I think that because of that, it makes it hard for me to pick what she wants because it's just a void. Like I don't. What do I say to that? Like, you know,
it's despair. You got hope and despair here going on.
Yeah,
so it's obviously not a very fair comparison.
It all comes back to Danganronpa.
It really does. But I think the void part is just she's starting from a clean slate. Yeah. One of Lilith's main complaints, if you go through her haunt dialogue, is that women are seen as lesser than men, because of Eden and all that.
Yeah.
And so it's evening the playing ground for everything, which, things were originally that, but history is going to just repeat itself. But, Yoko doesn't really thinking about that, I guess.
I definitely get that part, but I feel like it doesn't really explain much. Like if you say wiping the clean slate, that's just step one. Like what is step two? You have to build something after that,
right? Yeah.
She makes them. They're just small steps. All she did is everything is consumed by the void. I think that's part of why they have Tahom show up later is to show that scripture of how the world was remade from the void, right?
Yeah.
How it was born from the void, not remade. But that's how it's just starting over from the very beginning. That's it. It's erasing everything that was, all the discrimination and all that is in her mind. That's what it's doing. And restarting from the very beginning without really changing much. It changes small changes. It's just like with Tao's ending. There's small changes. But overall, things don't really change.
I don't agree with that, though. I think Tao's ending makes sense if it's a small change. But like for Yoko, it has to be like an overarching change because the whole point is the system can't work. That's the whole point.
Yeah. It doesn't work. But all she does is throw away the throne, and Cal uses it as a cradle, like she says, and then she makes them on even ground. They're equal, And Tao does that by granting people's voice. She doesn't change history or anything, or really how the hierarchy works, but they can have their voices heard. And it's not just, and instead in the Chaos ending, they're not just having their voices heard, they're actually on equal ground.
Either way, I like the Yoko ending better, and I like the fact that it ends with the void, or that it's like there's not.
I don't really like either ending, to be honest.
Keeps typing heroin and it's messing me up. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, Michael.
So, no, because I didn't really like any of the. I mean, either new ending, but I liked the Yoko ending better because I like the idea that in order to like give it, I think that the way that she was interpreting it is that the way that human history has progressed, like it's too hard to fix it from like with a new iteration, that it's easier to fix it by starting completely over. And
Yes.
I liked that.
Mm.
Like that's how I interpreted it, and I was like,
Yeah.
that makes sense in a like in one of those like weird like overly communist. You know how the people who are like, super into theory, and instead of actually like figuring out how to like fix a system, they talk about just like the most idealistic interpretation of how to build a civilization. I think that that's kind of what she's doing. She's like
That's both of these endings. That is both of these endings.
It is. This is a very communist game. That's why they don't like cars. But but like the idea of like the clean slate makes a lot of sense for the way Yoko complains about basically every facet of human existence. So
Yeah.
I thought it made sense. It doesn't make sense logically, but that's because she's literally a child. So
It's funny that they talk about erasing human history too, and then they have the Manyoshu there. It's like you're bringing all that back with you.
To be fair, I think it does make sense. I just feel like she doesn't explain it at all. If she like talked about it more, I feel it, but like she just kind of says, "I'm just gonna do this." And
I
so I
think
feel
it's the characters around her that and the side quests and all that that actually bring that into the ending. Like you've got to talk to everybody.
I did.
It's that, but I think that what I'm arguing is that her lack of having any clear insight into what she's trying to do is indicative of her character, and that's why I like it, because she feels like the type of person that wouldn't have a real plan. She just has like this broad strokes idea. So if you asked her how does revolution start, she'd just be like, we start over.
I guess that's fair, but at the same time, like this is like a multi-choice ending game. It's not just about her, it's about the endings too. So I feel like even with that, if they had like someone else talk about it too, or like reflect more about what the future is, I'd like that. Like I just wish more stuff was explained about what's happening.
Why does she turn into Tahome? Is she supposed to be Tahome? Is that why they
think
No, the void is Tahome.
I think she becomes
a void.
She
turn into Tahome?
It's Tahome to everybody now.
Let me see. I think in the cutscene, like you can see her like walking and like it turns into Tahome or something
she
like that.
Does some kind of little move and like the void fucking like pops up and she turns into it. It's weird.
I
think like an angel.
Give me a second.
No, she sacrifices herself to summon Tahome.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, she doesn't turn into it. Okay.
No, she does not. That's why they had the Magotsui come up. When you have Tao and Amitabha sticking Mastama, you notice that when they leave, they don't turn into Magotsui. They just leave and never return.
Yeah. It's a great boss. That's all I remember. I sort of forget the cutscene. Like I haven't watched it in like a month, but it was really fun.
You say that made me mad too. How come they have no boss fight for them in the game, bro? That really sucks. They really forgot Goku, bro. That's so insane to me. Like twice.
I actually, that is my biggest plot like thing that bothered me is as well. I was like, oh, I can't wait for them to actually make Goku make sense, and they just literally don't do anything.
He does the same thing, bro. He just stands there and watches you end the world.
It's so strange.
With this game, I kind of I think I understand his role a little better. I think his role is simply just to guide people into the next world or paradise, essentially. That's it. That's all he's trying to do. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as the people are guided into the next world. That's why he's so upset in the Destroy the Throne ending and Yoko's ending, because that doesn't happen.
Well, yeah,
People
but he could like try to stop it at least, though, right? Like,
I wanted.
He can't do that. He's a Buddha, right? Or a Bodhisattva, or he's a Buddha.
We could fight Buddhas. Like,
there are multiple Buddhas in this game that you fight. First off,
yeah, but I know, but he's supposed to be
he's a pacifist.
What do you call it? Non-violent, right?
Pacifist.
Yeah, he's a pacifist.
Pass some fists then.
Yeah, really. But yeah, I think that's why his role is like that. It's like, okay, that's fine, I guess.
I'm just saying that I would have liked anything to go between. Here's this random buff guy next to the Eiffel Tower, and buff guy is actually Goku or whatever.
Son Goku.
Yeah, I was gonna say Goku.
Goku.
Because I said buff guys are
he's really
prime
strong.
myself.
Yeah.
He's your rebirth navigator.
Yeah, it's so insane, like, to go from that to that. Like, there's no in between, and that's why I thought it was really funny that, like, 5 Vengeance doesn't address it. It just kind of just. It's like, what if he was exactly the same?
I wonder if they just expect us to just know that and just be like, yeah, okay, we don't need to explain this. But they kind of do because we don't know.
Well, in the chaos ending, does Tao die?
Sorry, what?
I think she just leaves.
Does Tao? I haven't seen the chaos ending. Like, I've seen it, but not the part with Tao. And like, does she die? Do you kill her?
No, she just leaves. She never dies. She always leaves. She does that in the Destroy the Throne ending too. She just leaves.
Yeah, she's like gross.
Yeah, I remember that in like the secret ending. She just like leaves the game. That's interesting. Then so you don't fight her or anything. I didn't actually know.
No, she stays around the secret ending. She comes back, and then
That's that right? Shit, I forgot. Embarrassing.
That would have been a cool boss fight, man. All I'm saying, dog.
Yeah.
Amitabh and Tao would have been cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get them lending their power to Mastema to control Tiamat, which is kind of weird.
Here's like a random aside. It's not really story related, but there is so much Mastema fan art that like emphasizes his feet in high quality. Like, I saw someone draw him in like joggers, and his like feet are like highly detailed. And I was like, what is what is
up with you?
Like, one of the funny
every single toe is accounted for.
Oh my lord!
And I'm like, is this why people like him?
With his
what's up with you, bro?
His fight with Tiamat, and they zoom in on his feet, and he says the word defeat, and they just lost.
Yeah, I was like, is this on purpose? I kept thinking, is this on purpose? Anyway,
Maybe.
sorry.
I don't know if it was, but it's unintentionally hilarious.
What if Tao turned into that Shekinah from Strange Journey? That big head or whatever? That could have been like an opposite, like Tahone. I don't know. If you did the chaos route, it should have been a.
I would not have liked it personally, but I rather something more than what we got. I feel like the ending for that didn't really make sense. So.
For which one?
For chaos, I think like the controlling timeout thing is like pretty stupid. I don't like it.
Do you? I guess this is related to the plot. Do you guys feel like there's a possibility for like story DLC in the near future, or you think they're gonna completely move on now?
They're done.
I think it would have been possible, but they haven't announced it by now, so I doubt it. I mean, like,
that's impossible. No DLC. Come on.
I can't think of anything I'd want to hear. Honestly, I can't think of anything I would want to be addressed or.
That's crazy to me.
Explored.
They could spend like the entire whole game for me. I think like
literally anything.
Like. Anything about Lucifer, like we had no idea what his plan was. Like he just kind of says he's gonna do it, and he does it, and that's it. Like,
I mean, isn't his plan just to end the cycle of death and rebirth? And then
how does that work, though?
I don't know. I don't
that's
think
the
he
point.
knows either.
He just says it.
I mean, he's Lucifer. He's not exactly thoughtful.
I want something where like or like even Amaterasu, that'd be cool too. I don't know, but like just something like don't there's so much stuff in this game. It's like kind of say and like don't explain it at all.
Amaterasu, they explain.
Amaterasu,
really,
that would have been sick because there's a.
All she says is all they say is that she exists, and then she's gone now, and that's it.
She hasn't got her beam form.
They have the research. Is this the researchers they mention? It. I forgot which character mentions it, but she disappears 20 years, or during the conception, right?
Yeah.
And they find out that she is actually absorbed by a mystery goddess. And so she no longer exists in the world. The only thing that is left is her essence in the keystone.
That's what I'm talking about, though. What happened to her? I want to see that. Let's show that. That'd be cool.
They can't show that. You would have to do a flashback, and then you have to explain the Yoko stuff. Because
they should. That's DLC. I want to know that.
Well,
it's not that interesting, though.
Yeah, it'd be cool because you fuse Agami and you see the Agami fusion, and then you see the Tsukiyomi fusion.
I think it's interesting at all.
There could be an Amaterasu
fusion.
All I'm saying is they could do some dumb DLC where it's it's like just a yaoi fight. Like
Yeah.
go back in time.
Even that too. How did Lucifer even fight him, bro? In the first place, in the first game, the whole point of the game is that you can't go in the Imperium without an Albino. How did he get in there? How did he fight him?
I don't know.
None of this game makes sense.
As long as a Nahobino unlocks the Imperium, then it's fine. Well, actually, I don't think it even has to be a Nahobino to unlock it. I think you just need it to take the throne. And you don't even need that to take the throne because, yeah. So in order to actually take the throne, you need a Nahobino. But you can have a demon on the throne ruling, right?
But he had to get in there first, though.
It was Demi-Fiend. He went in with Demi-Fiend and Nocturne.
Yeah.
At the very end.
That's true. That's how it's connected.
Are we? Oh my god.
It's not even the same knowledge.
Yeah, sure it is. Why not?
If anything, Demi-Fiend's knowledge would be Susano.
I have this, that just unlocked the worst fan theories. Now we're gonna start seeing that that's what happened.
Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, no, it's probably not that, but there is a lot of Susano stuff in Nocturne.
Actually, I only did 2. I'd like to see the other throne rulers too. I think that would be cool for DLC. Actually.
Yep, that would be cool. I wish there was like a throne room or like a previous rulers thing.
Yeah.
Where you could just kind of see who else and what was the order, because you can kind of figure the order just by like the way that we learn about mythology. Wait, what'd you say?
We know the order. They said it.
Yeah, it's Marduk, Atum, Ra, and then Baal, and then Yahweh.
It's not Atum. It's Amun.
Yeah.
Remember, Atum couldn't get it. Remember?
No, you cannot correct anybody, Mr. Hero Iron or whatever you said.
No. I'm saying it because Atum and Amun are different people.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. Heroin and
I got confused because I was thinking of Abiel.
Remember, Atum couldn't get it because he was a snake.
Yeah, and that he gave it to. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. That's right. I was thinking because Abiel had killed somebody, and I was like.
That also doesn't make sense, though. I just want to say that also. That line that Abiel says does not make sense because they say Atum couldn't get it, but she says Atum as like a previous ruler.
Because I don't think she knows about the whole snake thing.
Well, maybe she wouldn't, but the fact that she would even suggest him as a previous ruler means she would think that, though. Like,
yeah,
it's just a very weird thing in general. Anyway,
yeah.
I don't think most of them know. The only reason why Lamu knows is because he actually saw Baal. He was there when Baal fell.
Well, Toph knew.
That's the only reason he knows, and the other ones don't.
Toph knew.
Who?
Toph knew. Monkey dude.
Oh, I mean, but a lot of the others don't know. But that's the reason why he knows.
I feel like this is on the plot hole too to me because like. Why would he know but no one else knows though? Like even Nua didn't know apparently, and Nua was like one of the oldest goddesses in the world. Like why wouldn't she know if he knew? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Because he was there when Baal fell. That's why he knows. So some of the others were probably, huh?
Why wouldn't Nua be there though?
Nua's. Why would she know? She's not even.
She's like the oldest god in the world.
It doesn't matter how old they are. That doesn't matter.
Why would?
She gave
I don't get that.
Right?
Like she's like a very prominent god, a creator of humanity. She's a snake. Why wouldn't she know that?
Because Lucifer didn't know it either.
Well, I think actually that's actually true. But at that point though, it just brings up the question: how come no one knows?
Probably because the world's being remade.
But it would have been made multiple times at that point though. Like at that point, this would have been like at least 10,000 years old by that time, right? Not 10,000, but like. A lot, like 6,000 or so, right? Something like that.
Well, I'm not sure how low, but it's directly said that the reason why Lamu knows is because he saw Baal lose the throne. Like it's directly said that in the game by one of the NPCs.
Yeah,
I get that part, but like,
it's also said that Lucifer didn't know until he absorbed the creator's knowledge too. So that's like there's multiple people that do not know how this works.
Well, Lucifer didn't know the thing about above
doesn't
the throne,
know either, because she's still chasing after the creator. You know, as if he's alive.
I don't think that works though, because I think like Lucifer didn't know the stuff he didn't know because it was above the throne, and Lamu knew what he knew because it was during that time he was alive. Like, Nua would have been there probably, right? Like she's old too. She created humanity. Like she would have been there probably.
That wasn't her pantheon though.
So, but that doesn't make sense. Like, I would get it. Like, this isn't a regional thing though. Like, this is like the whole world. Like, I don't think that works.
Well, you're not gonna ever know. So
We're not. You're right. But I just think it's like I don't think it makes sense to
I
me.
don't
I don't know.
understand why Nua would be there with Ball and Lomu.
Well, it's not just them though. Like, we're talking about the throne here. It's not just like
Yeah,
like the
which
throne
has
doesn't
limited
exist
access.
in Mesopotamia. Like the throne is like a vague metaphysical thing. Like it wouldn't just affect them. It would affect the whole world. Why wouldn't she know? Like she's not just like a random bum. Like she's the goddess there. Like
Yeah, and Susanoo and Tsukiyomi and all of them don't know either.
well, why would they care though?
Because it directly affects them.
That wouldn't know. The snake thing wouldn't.
well, then my understanding of it was that there was a lot of secrecy with the processes and the rules of it, and like they did that on purpose. That's why they banished the idea of even having a Nahobi, you know. So no one really even understood how it worked to begin with. That's why some people talk about how you have my knowledge, but that's not necessarily the case. You know what I mean?
think
I'm not sure what you're talking about now, bro.
The condemnation is different from the curse on the throne. The condemnation is done by the previous creator god, so probably Yahweh here. And then the curse on the throne, where only the bull god can rule, is done by Marduk, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the mandala stuff, which is the Buddhist stuff. That's death and rebirth.
I'm not 100% sure.
Like lumped together.
I'm not 100% sure, but my understanding was that the condemnation wasn't like a secret per se. It was just that some gods were old enough to remember it, and certain gods were so young that it didn't even matter to them because they couldn't do it anyway. You know what I mean? So I don't think it was a secret as much as it didn't matter to them because they couldn't even become gods in the first place until just then.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's about the age of the god, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to ever really understand unless they drop an art book or something.
Which they are soon. Well, they're dropping a 35th anniversary book soon. But I expect it to explain absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, bro. We had not talked about gameplay at all, bro.
Wait, has the YouTube chat been going still? Because for me,
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Refresh it, bro.
What?
Refresh it, dog. It's still going.
What? Oh my god, there's so much stuff. Thanks, you're a real heroine.
Y'all are corny, bro.
Anyway,
better block all y'all on there.
Let's talk about the gameplay now.
Yeah.
I don't. My main thing is I don't have anything to say about most of this except I liked the demon haunts. Everything else I don't have any strong opinions about. So.
I love the haunts. I like all the extra dialogue that builds up certain characters. There's a bunch of fluff, you know, for the different personality types that sometimes doesn't fit with the characters or the demons, but it's fine. But there's a lot of them that you do fuse, and they have a lot of unique things to say. I like the quests in the haunt too, for like Eden and all them. Those are nice. They're kind of throwaway though, but they're nice. I think this game is meant to be played on hard. I didn't play it on normal, but I imagine it would be very easy if you did.
Yeah,
I did. It's very easy. Yeah.
I want to try hard, actually. I really enjoyed my gameplay until the end, at least. Like I thought it was a pretty fun game. I really like the haunts. I think I would actually replay this game at some point. I'm not sure when, but I can see it happening.
The haunts would have saved Soul Hackers 2. That's my thought. It always comes back to Soul Hackers 2. It would have saved it. It's just dialogue. It would have
not saved it. First off, the game is ass.
It would have added more to the game.
Hey, everybody!
The demons are terrible on Soul Hackers 2. They're terrible. They're just like, why would you do that? Why?
It's very bad.
They're demon summoners. Why would you do that?
So real quickly, just about the demons that they added to SMT5 Vengeance. I hate that they added Soul Hack or Devil Summoner demons, and I know no one will care. But those demons, especially the ones that are derived from just rumors or whatever, I hate that. Like they're not related in any way to the contextual demon creation process in SMT, and I don't like that they're included. So even though 40 kilometer grandma or whatever is in the game,
yeah, Turbo Granny.
Yeah, she shouldn't
That's a
be in the
fun.
game.
That's a fun quest. That's a
I'm
good.
not gonna lie.
Okay, hold on.
She
It does
Hold
bug
on.
me too, but I don't really care that much. I
I
feel
care
like
a lot.
if there was story important, I'd feel you, but I feel like they're just kind of there, so it's like whatever. I mean,
Okay, wait,
That's one of the
hold
best
on.
quests.
there are better choices for sure, but like it's just
But-
like, eh.
This is my argument. In almost every interview for almost every game up until 4 Apocalypse, they talk about carefully handpicking the demon roster. So this game, just having recycled demons from Soul Hackers 2 bothers me because I'm like, you guys weren't handpicking this like carefully. You were literally like, which ones can we bring in that's not going to be that weird?
No,
And that's
I agree with you there, but that's the issue with every 3D game now, except for DX2. Every
How do you
game
guys-
that's in 3D
That's
now
true.
has that same issue.
That's
It's
true.
been
I
the
don't
case
know.
since Persona. Like it's kind of like it's a dead fight, bro.
With Kimamon's quest, it's mentioned that they died and got isekai'd by a truck, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that you were running around chasing a turbo granny before that quest, and then you lead into, oh yeah, I got hit by a car truck and I ended up here.
No, like
Wait.
the writing is good. I like it. Like and I will never say that the new quests were bad. I'm just angry because it could have been someone else, anybody else, a new demon. Give someone new.
Chris the car.
Yeah, yeah.
for Yoko.
Oh my god. Don't get me started on Chris the car.
Yoko's
You
final
bring
boss
back
fight.
the car from
Righto.
Rido.
No,
Favorite
'cause
name,
that's
though.
Devil Summoner. You can't put.
Yeah, but that's also it's funny. Kind of ties in with Yoko's thing about cars too.
To be fair, that actually would make less sense. So I do feel you on that one. That car is like very specifically to Rido. Like that wouldn't make sense.
Oh
at all.
yeah, it wouldn't make sense because that's 100-year-old car.
They should have added Vohumana, bro. That demon's cool.
Who?
Vohumana from Persona 1 and P5R.
I haven't played either of those actually.
Goku Llama? What are you saying?
What do you play, bro?
Everything except Persona 1 and 5.
You need Persona 1 experience right now, bro. Hop on that.
Oh, what's it look like?
Who are you saying? Goku Llama?
Vohumana.
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 Who?
Oh, that's a cool looking
Literally
demon.
who?
You're a hater,
I've
bro.
never-
You know who this is, bro.
I've
You
never
know
What
who
was
this
it?
is, bro. I'm putting the
What was
Discord
that
right now,
angel
bro.
they added?
It's the
Kameo?
Amesha
No.
Spenta, however you say it.
Wait, which?
I put it in the
Pink
chat, bro.
one.
Look there.
Oh, that's a dumb demon. You're dumb.
That's
What?
crazy.
You're a
I've never
hater,
seen
bro.
It's like a
Don't talk
flesh
to me
guy.
about what should be added anymore. You wanted another penis demon.
How's it a
It's like a-
penis? What?
Look at its face. It's like a
What do you,
penis.
bro?
And then it's got a
Alright,
penis
bro.
in its penis area.
Moving on, bro.
It does have a penis. Wow.
A penis in its penis area?
Yeah.
All right, dog. Next topic, bro.
Shakan? Oh no, wait.
Wait.
Innate
There was
skills?
another side quest I thought was cool. Was the what do you call it? The one with the pink angel demon. I forgot her name.
Armighty.
Oh,
Almighty.
that one was good.
Yeah, her stuff is really good.
Yes.
And I like that it goes into Sahori's backstory, and you have like the sister of one of the bullies out in the street throwing rocks at pigeons, and her mom is like some crazy conspiracy theorist
that quest was
who
awesome.
neglects her kids. And then I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, they
You could kind of
almost
put some
reached-
context between her bullies and Sahori.
I like that they did that stuff because it really does. It didn't approach SMT4 territory where the world felt very lived in, but it got a lot closer to feeling alive than Baseline 5. Like it's literally one of the biggest
Oh, yeah.
things.
Definitely.
Vohumana, the penis
Vohumana.
angel or whatever.
It's an Amesha Spenta like Armighty is. So you're a hater if you don't like him, you like her.
All right. Well, I mean, I never said I was.
All right, well.
That's
All right, let's
crazy.
talk about Shaken.
We barely talked about the gameplay, but it's like it's
Chicken
SMT
wings.
gameplay.
Yeah.
It's good. You don't really need to say much, honestly.
I think the only thing I didn't like is that the new skills, I didn't really use any of them. I basically ended up just doing what I did the first time I played
Yeah.
the game.
I ignored them honestly. I didn't pay attention at
Oh,
all.
with Toki Critical? Yeah.
I like the new fusion spells though, or whatever, like the team spells, or whatever.
Oh yeah, those are fun for the one time you do it, and then I never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Then you go right
I
back
got
to
to the point
critical.
where they were so weak. I was like, why would I ever use this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but it was a cool idea. I think that they could keep that in, but just figure out a better way to do it.
I think the only one I used was the Kadishtu one. That one's actually useful once in a while.
The omnipotent succession, that's pretty good.
That one is so busted, actually. Like, it's incredibly busted.
You can
Yep,
use a
that one in
multi-hit
charge.
with it. It's really good, yeah.
So how do you feel about Shakan, though? Oh, you said,
I don't even remember what Shakan is, to be honest.
That's the dungeon?
Oh, yeah,
The
the
one
dungeon was
dungeon.
whatever. I don't know.
It's very bad.
I didn't think it was terrible, but
basic.
like the gimmick was like really weird. Like I find it hard to navigate, like the actual mechanic itself. But the dungeon was so simple that I just ran through it, and did not think that much anyway. So I
It's
didn't
the
really
castle.
It, I guess.
It's the Demon King's castle. Some of the rooms are rooms from the
Wait.
Demon King's castle.
For real?
That's probably
That's crazy.
intentional.
That's crazy.
It's intentional. It doesn't make it good.
I know.
It's the same thing.
Well, the puzzle is definitely much better than the Demon Castle with the fans.
Really?
Yeah,
They
I like
go
the
in a
fans.
straight line.
I thought the fans are fine. It's just too basic for me. I feel like the dungeons in Vengeance feel like they'd be the first or second dungeons in a regular game. They shouldn't be like the last thing you play. Like
They're the
they don't belong in the
tutorial
last 10
dungeons.
hours of the game.
I just felt like Shakan was tedious. That's probably why I don't really have any strong feelings about it. And then I'm tired of them just using a word that means something in Hebrew and whatever. Because Shakan is just like a house or something. It's like a dwelling.
Well, actually, they do explain this one. This one does actually make sense. It's in Japanese. It's called the Holy of Holies. It's supposed to represent like the area where like God's presence is like the most on earth.
So then it's not called Shakan in Japanese? Is that what you're saying?
It's called Shakan, the Holy of Holies. It's like a full title. We only call it the
It's
first half in English.
Also, where the power for Shekinah glory is basically housed, right?
So then what you're saying is this is the time where they messed up on in the English side then? Because there wasn't really that many times that I even thought about the localization. Now you kind of have me wanting to like check it against it.
I think it would help, but I don't know if it's like that bad. I feel like I think to some extent you can kind of get that explanation from Shakan itself, but like I don't know if it would like change much of the game though if you didn't have the local. But I don't know.
I don't think it changes it at all.
The game is very odd, so it could help.
It's like with Temple of Eternity. The meaning is just like from the past to infinity to eternally, and then normally you'd be like from now and eternal, but they both mean the same fucking thing basically, and it's not really a big difference.
Did you just swear?
I'm sorry.
No, I mean no.
It's cool.
I've been doing it.
Yeah, I don't care. It just fell out of the nowhere. I'm like, really?
Evil spider. It's crazy.
It's the same fucking
No, it's
thing.
just that it's not a big deal, honestly. The localization is generally really good. I think there's not much change. There's a bunch of terms that are just untranslatable.
Yeah.
That literally just you cannot translate that, and they work them out the best they can.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I didn't mind the localization, because I didn't really ever think about it. And I think that when you think about it, that's how you know that there's some problems. Like the last time I thought about the localization was within Nocturne, where especially that one angel that says "goddamn." I'm like,
oh yeah, that was bad. That I don't think anything in 5 is that bad, other than maybe like a typo where it says that Giacomo raised Nua, which is it's supposed to be the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was probably the worst thing that happened in 5.
That dungeon
the
needed
rest
a
of it was
boss.
pretty solid. Like, I don't know, solid to me.
I'm sure some of the silly dialogue is probably different in the demon conversations, but those are just fluff most of the time.
But
it seems they kept the important ones faithful.
Yeah, I liked how the demon conversations were actually good in this, because I was afraid that when they were talking about how they made all these additions, that was like one of the big ones that they had mentioned multiple times, and it was actually like, yeah, they actually did a good job. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say about the gameplay.
I feel you, bro.
The gameplay's good. There's just I don't
There's
know.
not
I
much
don't
to
have
say
a lot
about
to
it.
say about it.
I feel like the one thing I will say though is like I think SMT5 is like really bad platforming. I would have preferred more movement options. That would have been nice. I feel like, especially in dungeons, it feels like a hassle to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I'm moving in molasses all the time. My jumps go nowhere. Like it just feels awkward. I don't like it.
I won't, but I can go on like a rant on what I think about it.
I wanted stuff like wall jumping.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like nothing about the exploration's like challenging or really like immersive. Like you can run faster than everything. I don't know. I like the challenge of the older games where you have to like actually navigate. In this game, it's kind of like point A, point B. And like in Shikon, there's like 7 save points. Like, do you need to save that many times in Shikon? I don't know. They kind of hold your hand too much.
Yeah, I think that's just a funny thing you mentioned too, because when I was in Shikon, I mentioned before that was like really straightforward, the dungeon. So what I would do is I just ran through it and then saved and then went back in the dungeon to get the loot and then just pressed like if I fucked up, I just return pillared and ran back in it.
Yeah, you can sprint through it. It's not good. I don't prefer it. Some people like it.
I'm not a fan.
I don't like
I think they know that younger generations do not like dungeon crawling generally, so they're just kind of getting rid of it and catering to that Breath of the Wild audience.
Breath of the Wild is actually fun though. That's the difference.
Okay. I played the second Breath of the Wild game. I thought it was fun and all that. But there's so much. It's so big and it takes so long to do things, and the dungeons suck.
I haven't played it yet, so I can't say that one, but I'm sure it's good.
That game that sucks, but my main thing,
I do like it though.
I don't, but there's the main thing about SMT5 and Vengeance in particular is I don't like that it's built the way it is, the world design, because I'm so used to every other game having multiple things that you can do, and that it gradually increases over time. So you go from just the basic running, walking, jumping, to then eventually you can double jump or wall jump or roll or fly or hover or whatever. But since you don't do any of that, I'm just like, it was really annoying to me. So I'm like, what's the point of this game? Like having like being built like this, if I feel like I'm playing like the start of a regular adventure game. Like
80 hours of hide and seek with me.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that's the issue with them, like making it like the first open world game, kinda, where it feels like it doesn't like really.
What?
I think you cut off.
Oh, sorry. I was saying that I think there might be an issue with it being like their first open world game, where it doesn't take advantage of the genre as much as it should.
Yeah.
You think like it feels like really dated in that way. I think like almost like a PS2 game, kind of. It's really weird.
Yeah. Which it's kind of unfair, because I think what they thought was our gameplay and the RPG aspect would be so tight that you won't even think about how we have this other part of the game that's a huge component, and I think that was not smart.
Yeah.
Gotta at least bring up Shinjuku. I think there's a big difference in like the design of that compared to like the sand of the other maps. They got like I'm just pulling points from my video, honestly, but that's basically like all I think about the game. Like the trees, the grass, it shifts into like a dense city. I thought it was fun to explore, as opposed to like, I don't know, you go from Minato, Shinagawa, it's like the same kind of thing.
No, you're totally right there. Actually, I forgot about Shinjuku. Shinjuku is probably the best area in the game, really. I thought it was fun to explore. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I had no complaint. I feel like it's kind of weird to navigate, kind of, but that was on purpose, so I can't really complain too much.
It's huge. It's so big.
Yeah. I wish every area was like that, actually. Except for Minato. Minato was perfect.
Yeah.
I like that there's a lot more to look at with key areas. You have it a bit with like Shinobazu Pond, where you recognize it from the real world areas. And I like with Yoyogi Park, you can see that in the different areas. That's nice. Because with Chiyoda and Shinagawa, it looks very samey. There's a couple key areas that you can recognize where it is, even without the name up on the top of the screen. But it doesn't really stand out. it feels very samey, even though there's small areas that highlight, like, oh yeah, I can see this, this bridge is in this location. It looks, and you can see, it's fine. But I think Minato and parts of Taito and especially Shinjuku do a really good job of just showing that off instead of just being this bland apocalyptic area.
I agree.
Yeah, and like the first map has like Tokyo Tower, you have a landmark, and then the other one's like, I don't know, they don't really. What does Shinagawa have? It has like crates.
I know Chiyoda has Masakato's grave, I think. That's Chiyoda, right? That's Chiyoda, yeah.
And the public hall building too with the clock tower. That's cool. Yeah, like that's the first thing you would see when you walk in is that. And I really like that the clock is set to 444.
Yeah. I didn't
Jay-Z reference. It's crazy.
Like the Masakato grave in real life sucks now. It's like basically just like tucked away behind or like surrounded by massive buildings. It's kind of lame.
I haven't seen how it is since they rebuilt it, honestly.
It's a metaphor for SMT, bro.
Just imagine a lame thing, and that's what it looks like.
That's one of the things I liked about the areas too, is most of them have a very key building. So in Shinagawa, it's the in Shinjuku, it's the Tokyo Metropolitan Building. So it makes sense, they'd use that to summon a god. It's designed after cathedral. It's probably something that attracts a lot of negative attention, and so it's a great place to show off or to gather Magatsui, all that. And then Minato, you have, or Minato Chiyoda, you have the diet building. We're there, and then so that's Minato. Yeah, you have the diet building where the conception happens, and you have all those demons pouring out from the
which conception?
What do you call it? Fives conception.
I know.
And then Chiyoda, you have the public hall building and the Tokyo station, which is also intact. It's kind of unusual. You see certain buildings that are intact, and yeah.
You should have been able to jump up Tokyo Tower. This is a game where you can jump. It's an SMT game where you can jump, and looking back, I can't think of a specific time where like this was a cool thing to jump over. Like they don't really. You should have been able to like platform up that thing, jump to the top, find like a treasure or a demon or something. That would have been.
I think it was a very missed opportunity to like not have the, or rather to have like the set ledges you can climb up. I think that was like a very bad decision to have.
Yeah.
There's even a demon that talks about wanting to climb, you climbing up the Tokyo Tower, and I think they tried to add this in by having the Magatsui rail go through the tower, and it's just.
Yeah. Not quite the same. The rails are cool. Like the one that goes up to Shikan is so cool. But
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. I guess they don't add too much, but they're nice to look at.
I didn't like that addition.
Oh, you didn't like them?
Oh, didn't you?
Because they were cool for like the 1 second that I realized, most of the time it's I don't know. I just felt like it was a nothing addition where it didn't really do anything besides kind of provide a kind of interesting perspective of the land sometimes.
I can agree with that.
I would agree with you if the maps weren't designed horribly. Like it feels like it has to go everywhere when you already know what you're going. Like
sometimes
it's useful on certain maps and then completely useless on others.
Yeah.
Like it's useless on Shinagawa. I found it useful on the later parts of Minato, but the beginning part useless. And then parts of Shinjuku, it's useful. I barely used it at all in Taito.
Like I would have liked it if I was actually controlling him instead. Maybe that's why. So then I would just as soon as I would start the animation, I would skip to when it was jumping off.
Yeah, but it's a rail. You can't change a rail.
Like Sonic. Yeah, you can jump around like Sonic.
I can't make myself like twirl around the rail or put my hand.
It's a train rail. You can't just like move the rail.
Yeah, he's a god. He can do it.
He can create the world as he sees fit. And
he can move the rail.
Grind the world as he sees fit.
What else did you have written down for this? That's about it for exploration, gameplay. Yeah.
We should cover. I mean, all we have left really is the designs and the music, and then the questions. For me, there's not a whole lot to say about the designs, except I do think everything is an upgrade except the new Beano form, I thought that was ugly, and
What?
Really?
yeah,
crazy.
I think it's ugly.
I
think
think
it's,
I
the
love
map
it.
is ugly.
I prefer it to the original, but like I don't really care that much for either of them. So
Also, the mask. Why does it have snake energy? What does that
yeah,
have to do with Tsukuyomi? I don't understand. Why?
it's
What
just
what's going on there?
it's a
it's
Vengeance
just to
thing, I guess. I
contrast
don't
the
know.
original. That's it.
Is it just like, oh yeah, he's sad now, so that's snake energy or something?
The weapon is so cool. It's like you swing it out and it like goes out like a whip, but it doesn't have like a gameplay effect. It doesn't make your hitbox bigger. It totally should, but it looks cool.
I wonder why they chose a whip.
It's like a
He's a mean bean.
scythe that extends out, kind of. Maybe
He's
that's like a
got
snake
It's
thing.
the
sort
whip on
of.
the overworld map, but
Okay.
in the battle, it's the scythe, the bullhorn scythe. I like that
Yeah.
they add the bull imagery in there with the moon. That's interesting, I guess.
Yeah. I like the new form. I mean, I guess the snake
I
stuff
don't.
doesn't really make sense, but
I don't.
I like
they don't make
purple.
any
I think
universe.
purple's a cool color.
Purple is cool.
Oh.
I do. Purple is
Why
cool.
purple with Tsukuyomi though?
Yeah.
He's blue and with User.
Oh yeah.
They
I don't
literally just
know.
did it to contrast. Like I think that's it.
They could have just chose a different color blue.
Because but then I guess that's my big complaint about Doi designs in general is that it's like overly detailed, but also I feel like he doesn't have any real motivation behind anything he's doing. He's kind of just doing what he thinks will look cool or what he likes. So
Oh,
that's
I'm sure there's a
Substance.
motivation behind this. I just don't understand it at all. Like, there is probably a reason why he had the snake imagery there. There's a reason why he has purple and all that. I just don't get it.
I don't know.
That's it.
After reading a lot of his commentary, a lot of it just comes down to, I thought this would look nice.
Yeah, but he
Which
does
is not
explain
bad.
why it would look nice, though. Like, he explains the symbols on the suit and all that.
Yeah.
It's explained.
He does it, but the way he does it is so funny because, like in the original Beano form, he's like, oh, the line pattern kind of looks like a river, don't you think? And it's like, yeah, like I know. But
That water thing goes through everything. It's in the
What?
menus. It's in
It's a better water.
It's in
theme
the
than
first
Persona
song of
3.
the soundtrack and everything. It's everywhere.
It's a better water theming like interweaving than Persona 3 did. I think the Persona 3 water theming is so ham-fisted. I'm like, why?
Even like how the proto fiends, it ties into that water theme. How they're
Yeah.
made. Everything. The primordial void of water.
No, yeah.
This primordial sea. Yeah, it's all
So you agree? And
yeah.
that's it
Even
for
like
this
the poem at the beginning too. For
Oh, yeah.
eroding away. Yeah.
Any other design commentary things you guys want to say?
I like
I
Agrit's
don't
umbrella.
think so.
That's it. That's all I got to say.
I like Tehom a lot. Tehom was like one of my new favorite Doi demons probably, but you know the story pretty sucks for her, so it's kind of sad. But you know,
Tome's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Tahom a lot. I also like the fan service Nahobibo demon. That's very cute.
Yeah, that's.
I do not like
it's
that.
definitely
I like his little cosplay story and all that.
Yep. I like.
Oh,
it.
Mabe is really good too.
Yeah, the only real miss, in my opinion, is Lilith. Really, she's the only one that I had a strong negative feeling. The rest of them I like to like varying degrees.
I thought you
Also,
didn't
I
like
really like
Nyakapon.
Amasi.
Oh yeah, I don't like a Nyankopon, but that's different. That's because when he talks about the design, he's just like, oh, it sounds cute. It sounds very cute in Japanese. I'm like, okay, so that's why you made the creator deity like some little shrimpy guy that talks
A little guy.
in a mildly
Yeah.
racist way.
He's cute. I like
not
his
supposed to be
design a
cute.
bit. I just don't like his character.
He's
I think
not
his
supposed
character's
to be
terrible.
Yeah, I thought the design was good at first, but like now I play the game, it just feels wrong to me. Like
cute.
the
Yeah.
depiction just feels off.
Like what if
So I
you
don't
made a
hate it, but
chibi
like it
Yaoi?
just.
What if Yaoi was a chibi little guy with elf ears and yellow?
Oh, they should do that.
They actually should. That would be good. All right,
He's
Doi,
a
if you're
floating
watching
head.
this. angry little chibi with
That
elf
would've been
ears in
awesome.
yellow. Let's do it. Doi, you're probably watching.
He probably is.
Yeah, they say that they watch and they like they look at what people say online about their games and stuff. So
Uh-oh, that's not good.
who knows? they're gonna see how KidCapes talks about heroine and be like, oh, let's not sponsor him because he can't pronounce it right.
All right, bro.
I can't
How are we
pronounce
still
half the
on
words in
this?
this game. Like they don't even say them. I'm just like, what is that word?
You
That's
guys know that
true.
guy Zeus talks about off the top of your head? When Zeus is like, yeah, I used to be with this guy named like Jar Jar Binks or something like that. You know what
I
the
think he's
name-
referencing Alexander the Great when he says that.
It's a weird name though. It's like
It's like I'll look it up. Give me a second. I know what you're talking about. It's an
Yeah.
Arabic name.
it's an
It's my
Arabic name.
script. Yeah.
I would have
Give me a
thought it
second.
would be like a Greek person, because he's a
I think
Greek
that's how
god.
Riku said,
Well,
I like
he's
it.
Greek. Alexander the Great, probably. You know. Give me
I
one
can't
second,
find
bro.
that, but it always stood out to me that he specifically name drops this like person, and like he's not in the game.
Keep talking. I had the script, bro. Give me 1 second.
Well, on another design element thing, I'm kind of hoping that they drop merch for this game, specifically the clothes. I want the uniform because the uniform is nice enough that you could wear it without people knowing that you're a nerd immediately, and that's like the best kind of design, I think. Like imagine wearing a Joan like just jacket or Joan pants.
Yeah, the new Sukajan, like I wasn't too big on those.
Really?
I don't like the Nahobino like one. The conditioning
Oh no
one was cool.
I don't mean the new bomber jacket. I'm talking about like literally just the outfit from the game, straight from the game.
Oh,
All right, I found the
yeah.
name. It's
Duel.
Dual Quanarn. I don't know how to say that.
I wish he was in the game.
Dual
He says that. I'm like, who is that? And I was like, I don't know.
I'm pretty
You
sure it's
don't know who that
Alexander the
is?
Great.
Alexander the
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
It's
I didn't know that. Why
I
does he,
had to Google it, bro, so I don't
why
blame
does
you.
he say Alexander the Great?
I wonder if
That's a good
that's why
question, bro.
they threw out the Cleopatra because they didn't want the two branches merging.
wait, what?
I said, I wonder if that's why they threw out Cleopatra because they didn't want the Greek and the Egyptian branch merging in power.
No, don't get me started on the whole branch thing because why is
branches.
there a Nyonkapon trying to do his West African branch, I guess, and if Egypt
No,
has its
that's
own branch?
Anasi.
No,
Anasi's the
Yeah.
one who wants to join Bethel.
No, but I'm saying,
Onyonkopong
like-
just wants to die.
Yeah.
I'm just saying those like branches are dumb because why does Africa get why is this like all the nuance of African mythology get like simplified as just like that one supposed branch kind of thing?
Well, it breaks up the Mesopotamian and the Egyptian one too.
That's true. Yeah. There's like a weird lack of cohesion, but I feel like that's probably purposeful, maybe. But
I figured the point was more that like the other gods don't really have enough prominence to like have a branch, while the Egyptians do.
who's practicing Egyptian mythology during that time?
Well, no one's practicing. People know it though, right? Like people know what it is.
Yeah, it's not necessarily worship it, but it's being known.
Yeah.
If they had like a Native American one, that'd be so cool. They should do more Native American demons. They're like stuff like that.
Where's the Native American branch?
It'd be neat.
They probably don't exist anymore because, like, I mean, my this isn't confirmed, but my theory is that Bethel is probably like based in the U.S. probably, considering how much laws are related to imperialism. So
I think
So
it is
Bethel
too.
is centralized in Dot,
Oh,
which is over Tokyo, just Tokyo. So all 23 wards of Tokyo.
No, but
So all the branches are there.
No, but the way that they talk about it, if you think about how they talk about it, they don't call it like it's not Tokyo, like it's not Bethel, like in relation to Tokyo, and then these other branches. Tokyo is a branch of Bethel, so that would indicate that it's not the central like thing. It is a central thing now, but it probably wasn't the original center. Is what I gleaned from it. You know
because
what
they say
I mean?
Bethel, Japan.
Maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bethel, Japan,
I don't
sorry.
think they really talk about when Bethel formed, do they?
No, not really.
They do not.
But
I
Yeah,
assume it formed
so
like a long
they
time ago, like
do.
before all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
well, then I'm just going off of my specific logic is, if Bethel is predicated on the god of law is a Western god, so Bethel probably originates in like Glib was saying, probably like America or something, and these other branches all just support it, just like the way America has all these like bases all around the world. I thought that's what the parallel was supposed to be.
Yeah, I think so.
Their bases are in Duct. They actually explain
Spiders.
this. No, they're literally, that is where the Egyptians are in Minato. That is their home base.
That's not their home base. It's a temporary base. I'm pretty sure they say.
No, it's that's what I'm trying to say. The spiders, that's not the original base. I'm saying like once everything happens with Lucifer, it gets like everything is gone.
Oh yeah,
basically.
beforehand, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't say.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is based on the way I think Bethel is operating, I think it's supposed to be a U.S. parallel, and the Bethel bases are the same thing as
Probably
the U.S.
EU,
bases.
wouldn't you say?
Huh? Say what?
European Union?
No. Well, I think it's supposed to be that, but I also think it's supposed to be specifically the way the U.S. has territory on all these other countries, because I think that's at least that's the way I paralleled it in my mind when I was playing. Because them calling it the Bethel Tokyo or Bethel Japan implies that it's not the main Bethel. Because if it was the main Bethel, it would just be called Bethel. Or
Well, we know it's not because they simply say Bethel HQ.
no, yeah, that's yeah. But I'm saying that like that's why I'm thinking that is what I'm trying to say. Anyway,
I think HQ is in Tokyo too.
I'm gonna fight you. I don't.
Yeah, that's why Abdiel's in charge.
She doesn't say that though. I'm pretty sure she doesn't say there though. I think she's just there for the fight. I don't think she like is like permanently like there all the time.
I don't remember.
Because I'm pretty sure Maseno even mentions that his across the ocean or something. He says across the sea. Something.
They mentioned other campaigns, and now they're on the Demon King campaign.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's just like a temporary thing they're there for. They're not like always in that area.
It's the world has shrunken to the point where all that's left is that. So, but yeah, let's talk about the music. I don't have anything to say. I like it.
I don't either. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a
Kozuka.
music guy.
Kozuka's the best.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? You're not gonna lie. What?
Oh, I'm not a music guy. I cannot name you a single song from this game.
I can name you. Like
I don't know a single one.
I can name a few, but I just made a video. There's some good ones.
You're cheating. That's why.
The Mothman song, so good.
Oh, actually, I do remember the Kinmamon song. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah, that one's super. I love that song. It's so like, I don't know. Anyway.
Yoko's theme is Tahome's theme too, like sped up a little bit different. I thought that was cool. Yoko has like her own theme music, and it's part of Tahome's boss fight. I liked there's a song that plays during like certain subquests. It has a really weird name. Let me send it. I'm on Spotify. I'll send it. But there's a good one there. Demon Haunt's really good.
The first Demon Haunt one, yeah.
Yeah. And then Shinjuku's pretty great. Let me see. Here's the song I'm talking about. And I don't know why it's called this or like what it means. Just sent it. It might not embed.
It did not embed.
Shit. I'll take a screenshot of it. It's called Ulsru Shin. And it plays during certain subquests. I used it in my video. You can like listen to it later or something, but it's like a weird name, so like nobody knows what it's actually called. I had to like ask somebody.
Master's theme is really good too.
Is it? I thought it was just alright. I don't know.
I like it.
Well, I don't. I'm just kidding. It was fine. I don't know. I just didn't come away. I think my favorite themes that they added were all the DLC themes, basically. Like I really liked Dogda's song. The battle song was super good. Flower Girl. I forgot her name. Sakura Hime. I don't know. What was she? Konohana. No.
Konosakia.
Yeah, I liked her theme a lot. But yeah.
Team up boss fight is good. It sounds to me like it reminds me a little bit of like the final boss theme from Apocalypse for some reason. Just a little bit. There's one, the virtual battler has like Lucifer's castle or whatever from SMT2 in it.
Oh,
like
I just realized the song you posted, it's literally Fool's Rush In.
Oh, did they spell it like wrong or something?
Yeah, it's really wrong. It's supposed to be Fool's Rush In.
I was like, what is Full Swoosh In? Yeah. It's a great song.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh, I love their English whenever they make any little mistake, it's so funny to me, which is kind of bad. I don't know if that's.
I would have never figured that out. Yeah, I thought it was like in a different like language or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good song too.
Yeah. I'm looking through any other ones I wanted to mention.
Full Solution. Battle
Dogda, if you've heard it, the first really like 20 seconds sound like when Charlie Brown like dances with the other kids. It sounds exactly like Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
What else? That's probably it.
But overall, like I did think the OST was enjoyable, but I didn't have nothing really stood out as much as the ones that we mentioned so far, and the meme songs are the ones that I really liked, which is why I like the Mothman song so much. And yeah,
Mothman.
Amabe's what is it? Her song that she sing or has the Onda. That one's good.
Shakan, good music. Bad Dungeon. I like all the tracks, honestly.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I didn't nothing was like, oh, this was bad or offensive or something. But yeah, the ones that stood out really stood out. I think that he should just take over all of Megaton. I want to if he went on Persona, it'd go crazy. Persona 6 would have the best OST. The Green Persona.
Green Persona, Midori Persona.
So should we just do the questions now? Because there's nothing else to say about the
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'm gonna read the first one. It's from Zeta plus CG. Is that Christian guy?
What?
You guys? No, it's because I think on Twitter he goes by Christian, or I think that's what it says.
Oh, I think you're right.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, let me read it in a different voice. Do you guys think? Do you guys think human party members should return to SMTVV introduced guest party? Wait, what? Should return since SMTVV introduced guest party members?
Yeah.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I do not care.
I care.
We should bring back 6 people parties and get rid of press turn.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think press turn should die. Yeah, I'm tired of it, dude.
6 people. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah. I would like the idea if it was both guests, but also sometimes they were just integral, depending on which path you took or whatever, your current alignment. I would like that. I would like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't need 5 people taking turns talking.
No, yeah. Like the older games. That'd be super cool.
All right. And then Stone 56. Do you all think that guns should be back? It always felt kind of cool how you could shoot stuff up with a M16 or Spaz 12. I don't know what either of those things are.
They're guns.
Oh, okay.
The shotgun Terminator carries in SMT2.
But they took it out and made them invulnerable to guns in story for some reason. I mean, I don't know. It depends on the game.
Yeah, bring it back. They're cool.
I like how If did it, where you had guns and ammo and ammo specific numbers. You had to actually keep buying your ammo again. I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. I like that.
I think it depends because if they do teenagers, they're gonna be like, oh, it's actually an airsoft gun, and I don't want to really deal with all that nonsense.
Don't do teenagers. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do teenagers would be the nice point. But they're gonna do that because that's just the easiest market to go for.
Well, that
Ugh.
then you make the protagonist 19. I just graduated and I got my gun license. Then the world ends.
Gun license in Tokyo. Okay.
They're American.
Oh yeah. I'm American. Well, no, you saw how the Americans performed during the Olympics. I think they have to be from China.
Not too
'cause
good.
They're the
Yeah.
big gun people apparently. They know how to shoot.
I did not watch the
They're
Olympics,
about
bro.
precision. We're just about spray and pray.
I think so. Yeah. Well, no, I'm not gonna say the dark joke I saw. I'll post it in the chat though.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Mm-mm.
Oh, you're posting? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
That's
Didn't
funny.
want-
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
But I
Oh
do
my
think-
lord.
I think of all things I would love to bring back, I want loyalty and magnetite.
Yeah.
Very
love
true,
that.
sir.
Yes.
Those are just fun elements, and even if you did a thing where you restricted it to different difficulty settings, so if you did hard mode, then that would unlock like that extra thing of loyalty or something. I think that would be a more incentive for me to play hard, because I played hard mode on SMTVV Vengeance and it was kind of boring. Like I don't know.
I think the Magatsui meter and the haunt are trying to bring those elements back in a way, but they're not really committing to them.
Yeah, like soft versions of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question from Mashidine. What do you think of the shift from dungeon complexity to combat complexity? I don't know what that means. We've gone from several mechanics compounding dungeons and relatively set dungeons to almost non-existent dungeons, resource management, and demons with multiple adjustable elements.
Okay. I read this one ahead of time.
Okay, good.
I don't think I don't think there really was a shift from dungeon complexity to combat complexity. The old ones had both, because like
Mhm.
in the older games there were like demons that have like 1/8 of a weakness and like weird stuff like that. They had extra skills. You had the guns, the ammo, all kinds of different things. So I don't think there was really a shift in complexity. It's just kind of like a different system. The old games have both. I think the new games have only one, and it's combat complexity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that's pretty
This
much
is like a
Even-
really
Even 4 there was no complexity.
Yeah.
Mhm. The last
first
one-
kind of the worst, really.
Yep, it is worse, but no one talks about it. Like no one, like it actually bothers me how much people complain about the dungeon complexity in like 5. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
replay 4. Go replay 4. But Strange Journey had great dungeon complexity. But
It
people
did.
complain about that. It's too complex. Iridanus. People are like,
Because they don't like dungeon crawling.
This is a super boomer take, but I think the real issue is that like new JRPGs and JRPG fans, they're positioned around like expediting everything in the sense that the goal at now is just to get from point A to point B, like Marsh was saying earlier. Like it gets rid of as much minutia as possible. And the bad thing is that a lot of like in old games, the minutia was the experience itself. Like the goal was the journey, not just fighting the boss. So like you're
Yeah.
supposed to talk to all the NPCs. You're supposed to do like the dungeon shit. Like that's the game.
yeah,
But now people just want to skip that shit.
People today
the
see
story
like
part.
being lost as a negative.
Yeah.
I think with the older games, it's like that's the point.
Yeah, it's just ripping me,
Navigating.
bro.
Yeah.
it's kind of like, because if you really think about it, the modern RPG is just it's just automated Dungeons and Dragons where all the systems are doing it for you, and the more modern the game, the more automated it is. So it's what you're saying. I'm just repeating it, but in a terms that I understand. I feel like there isn't a good balance because so many people, especially like long-term Megaten fans, like different eras of the amount of automation there is. So there's never going to be like a happy medium unless you make a game with a specific audience in mind. But the
Yeah.
problem is like those audiences don't care anymore, or they're all playing DX2 and spending thousands of dollars to get Madoka.
I think some of it is part of that they're removing some of the complexity to remove some of the resistance, so people don't feel discouraged. That's why they throw so many fucking rewards at you, is because they're just like, okay, here, you did good. Congratulations. There, this makes it easier for you. You can keep going. And it's just to keep you going and keep the momentum going so you don't slow down, so you don't stop. Because once you put this down, you might get distracted by something else or whatever is going on.
Yeah.
It's not broken up to be where, like Persona, where it's like, okay, you finished up this little episodic bit, save it for later, come back. Here, we're going to explain the same thing over that you just did, in case you forgot. Kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the industry is moving in like a direction where like a lot of niche games don't really exist as much as they used to anymore. So like everyone has to be like approachable for everyone. There's not really as many games for people who are like for a specific community anymore. That's kind of sad for me, you know?
Yeah, it's like, let's throw the net to the widest audience instead of focusing on what makes it interesting and different.
It's true.
Yeah. Next question by adud3_2. What do you expect Atlas' next old game re-release will be? DDS, SMT4, Desu?
Digital Devil Saga.
Yeah, I think every Devil Saga's coming.
It's probably the best bet.
I thought so too, because I mean, especially because of the way that they did the the anniversary merch is so bad. It's a bunch of keychains.
It's not too
acrylic
good.
standees,
Yeah.
buttons and a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's very low risk stuff.
It's literally like, oh, like you know how people say, oh, they really ate. That's like you're not even eating at that point. You're literally it's crumbs or like water. It's
Yeah.
like
there's no reason.
Like, I'm cool.
If they were doing something, there's absolutely no reason to do this, because whenever the anniversaries comes up, they just skip them. They don't even mention it, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll throw a Twitter post like, "Oh yeah, this was released on this day," and that's it. There's no reason to release merch unless you're doing something.
Yeah, the merch was the
Right.
biggest hint that they're doing something, but they should have just did anything else. They should have just re-released the OSTs or something, like physically to buy. Like I think that would have been a better thing to sell than literal plastic.
I wonder if they think that's actually going to sell enough.
I mean, I did buy all the dumb plastic, but I was mad. I was mad
This
when
guy.
I added it to cart.
I feel like they're probably a little apprehensive on this title. Honestly, they're not really going to go all in like they did with Nocturne.
Yeah. Nah. The only other thing they could possibly be gearing up to do would probably be SMT4, but I kind of doubt it.
Really? You're not gonna say Rider?
Well,
No.
There's nothing to indicate Rhino, honestly.
Right?
I feel like Yamai kept mentioning it though, right? So like, I feel like it could happen.
And then he died.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we don't even know if Yamai's even there. That's true, but like, I feel like it's possible.
I think his lack of a voice is indication that he's working on something. I don't think he's gone.
Really, I feel like he would have said something though. You know what I mean? Like,
I think so. He did.
He's
like,
a producer
before,
though,
like-
so he's not gonna be talking unless something's going on.
I feel like Yamai was like the main guy talking about SMT5 at first though, right? Like until like Vengeance, it was mostly Yamai until then.
Well, it was mostly Yamai until the year that SMT5 came out. Then it became the director. What's his name? Kadaka or
Komori.
Yeah. So I just made up a name.
That's the Danganronpa guy.
Kadaka. Yeah.
Why would you
It is, yeah.
Danganronpa? That's so annoying. What is that? What is with that?
I had no idea, bro.
Anyway, point is, I want to believe Raito, but it just doesn't make any sense, and they'd have to do a lot of censoring. It wouldn't get a Asia release probably.
I don't think they'll ever do it.
Yeah.
I hope they bring it back, but like, put it like in a different time period. That'd be really cool to me. I think.
Yeah. I want like a like just like the Raito the first era like would be very cool just to see how it all started. Or they go crazy with like a time where technology was in a weird transition, like the 50s or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd even like seeing like
You cut out.
You're cutting off,
I'd be
Glib.
cool with that.
We didn't hear it.
What?
Did it cut out?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. It'd be cool to me if like they did one in the future with like SMT1 stuff happening. You know what I mean? Like
That'd be sick.
that.
Yeah.
Well, funny you should say that because if you just play SMT Imagine, they do have the Rhino from the future as
Well, I'm not playing
Really?
that shit game, so
I didn't know that.
All right.
I think the Imagine story is actually pretty decent.
it actually
Surprisingly.
It is. It's actually good. All right,
I'm gonna do a playthrough one day.
I'm not gonna lie, it seems really cool, but like I'm not playing MMO. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing
You
it.
could just watch the cutscenes then.
Wait for Marsh to do his video. Then.
I just wait for me to do it. Yeah. I do want to do it at some point.
You actually should. It's actually fun.
The whole half of the ladder campaign is not translated, so have fun.
But that's
Oh
what
man,
women.
I've done it before though. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and I guess the next question. The next one is from Styrixius, or I don't know, Starry Zhao. Oh no, I'm going to live now.
Oh my lord.
How do you think Vengeance handled alignment compared to other mainline entries? Would you like to see more games not have a neutral option? For the record, Vengeance does have a neutral option. It's just in the other campaign.
Oh yeah.
Talos ending is bordering on neutral, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
It really it's calling it a law ending is I don't know.
I think you could
it
argue
doesn't
both,
really
but
feel
like
like
the
a law
framing is
ending.
very definitively neutral.
Yeah.
What color
Like
is
it,
the orb when you
kinda.
beat it again? Like the save orb?
I think
What
it's
color is it?
light blue. I think.
Oh, then it's law adjacent.
It's good from a fandom perspective because if there's neutral, people are gonna pick neutral and say it's the best one. So now you have to see like what do people actually think when they have two choices.
Yeah, that's the real thing for me. I think that neutral has like always been a bad decision. Like neutral, like it makes you not. You don't have to pick at that point. It defeats the purpose of the game.
SMT3 Nocturne neutral's the best ending.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I think Creation of Canon doesn't exactly present neutral as a good ending.
No, it doesn't.
I think it kind of does though. I think to a point, like it's not like as like great as it always is, but like if you look at like how Yakumo's presented across the game, he's always just kind of correct. Like even if he's like mean, he's still right. Like all the points he's making are still just true.
I don't think they present him as right. Like they present Nua as right, but Yakumo no.
Well, he's definitely right too, because like his whole point is against like both law and chaos. Like and no one ever argues against him either. Like he always just says what the problem is. And
yeah, that's usually because he's arguing against Aogami, who doesn't really have much of an opinion on anything.
Well, that's also the point though I'm making. Like often the framing is that they have characters argue against people where they don't really say much, and like that in itself is like showing how the game doesn't have much to say about that topic. It's just like they just get away with it.
Are you talking about Destroy the Throne? That ending?
Yeah, Destroy the Throne.
I wouldn't say that ending itself is like presented as the best. I think it isn't. But I think what Yakumo says in regards to what leads him to it is presented positively because it's never argued against.
Okay.
The world for humanity, because like with Yakumo, he doesn't value people who are weak. He sees that the people who his parents saved people, right? They went out, got themselves killed saving people, much like Yuzuru did, right? And he blames those people who were saved for his parents' deaths, rather than realizing his parents did that of their own accord.
Well, that's not true. I think his issue is more not like being weak per se, but like mental weakness, like not the ability to like put yourself in that position. Like I think as long as I think his point is more like if you're willing to go to the distance, I think he's cool with that. But like if you're like not like it's like his whole point with the demon summoning program was that like he wanted people to be able to take it and like use the demons like protect themselves and stuff. And obviously like humans are weak compared to demons. So I think his point is more that like you have to be able to like put yourself there to win.
Yeah. But that would also mean people like Miyazu and all them would die as well.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't be considered weak, because they won't do that.
Well, that's your opinion.
That's a game theory.
I don't know. I like neutral as an option because it's always the dumb pick. So it's like when you don't really agree, you just pick that one anyway. Because what happens in some of the Mega 10 games is that some characters or some paths are so like unlikable in my opinion that I don't want to see it necessarily.
Everybody with Dazai's ending, almost.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
they never get to actually see the ending for that.
But like sometimes neutral is kind of like the like not wouldn't even call it like fence sitting, but it's more like you just don't really agree enough or like are invested enough in either path. That's kind of why I like neutral. But neutral gets framed as being the real ending too often, so that's the only reason why I want to leave it off. But again, Vengeance has a neutral ending. It's in canon of creation.
I think part of the reason why is because neutral is framed as the human ending, right? And the others are favored in more of basic, not basic, but they're favored more for gods. So like when you become more and more entrenched with demons and gods and stuff, you lose your appreciation
Humanity.
for humanity. Basically, you don't
Yeah.
really see these things as important as the grand scheme of things, and that extremism kind of just pulls you away from human issues.
One of the best ways to conceptualize Law Neutral Chaos and Mega 10 is exactly how they released the alcohol for the 25th anniversary, because the Law alcohol is a fragrant, fruity wine. The Chaos alcohol is a dark, fragrant, fruity wine, and the neutral one is literally just sake. And sake doesn't like it's not. It's definitely like acquired taste.
Tastes
It's
like alcohol.
It's it's still alcohol, but it's like it has a stronger like it's like a punishment almost in my opinion.
It doesn't really taste like anything to me. It's like it burns.
Really? Well, I mean, I guess you're just more manly than I am because for me, I'm like, give me the fruit.
I like the fruit. Yeah.
So like I think of it like Law and Chaos are more appetizing generally, and then neutral is like you're playing or something. You're like, oh, I don't know.
Cheese
Like,
Yeah,
quesadilla.
I think there's a lot of indecisiveness tied in with the theming of neutral. You have that with Tekao and Isabeau and all them, and even in probably the Tao here too. There's a lot of indecisiveness there.
yeah.
This thing. Somebody's editing the questions.
I was just adding context.
I see like a bunch of people typing in here.
There's only a couple. I mean, let's talk about the next question from Kitkoski. In your opinion, is there anything they changed or revamped in Vengeance that you feel has made the game overall worse? The endings. Also, would you consider these changes to be a step forward in the franchise? No. And shape mainline, and the shape mainline will take in the future. I do think that a lot of the changes in terms of the way that they approach law and chaos will kind of be fundamental going forward. I think they're going to be more experimental or just different, like the way that they are in this game. I hope they don't follow the same steps because some of the narrative decisions were really weird to me. Like really weird. Just like having a chaos goddess and a law goddess is like kind of cringy. That's all I have to say about that.
The exploration, being open, kind of like with nothing in it. I would think they would do that again, probably. Like they're probably not going to go back to dungeons, I would think. So.
Yeah.
I think the changes are pretty cool for the most part. I think if they keep developing it, it could be, pretty awesome.
Yeah. You shouldn't have a game that's bones for the next game, which is kind of what this game felt like.
No, I agree with you, but like I thought this game was all right, so
I think they should cut down on the rewards.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't need 100 strength or all that before I reach title.
I talked about that in my video for like 7 minutes or something, like way too long.
I spaced my stats out really evenly too. I had, of course, more strength, but I tried to space them out so I wouldn't be so overpowered I'd go through everything. So I just threw it into agility and luck instead, and it balanced things out decently. But still, it's like if you just go all in on one stat, you're gonna be fine.
I did
and it's
strength, yeah.
awful.
I had like 150 or something.
I just thought it was funny because it would be like, oh, here's this somewhat easy boss battle. Oh, looks like Algami wants to talk to you. And he's like, oh, that was good. Here's 3 more points.
Here's 3 level ups for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
Yeah, I actually would be like, man, I really don't want to do this, but I guess I'll do it.
I guess they needed a reason for people to go and get those conversations because not everyone cares.
Mhm.
But still, I don't really like that how much reward it
Should've
throws
been-
at you.
If it was like 1 point, I would have been like, okay, like, but 3 is a
Yeah,
lot.
it's 3, and that happens a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Or they could have just given you a good item sometimes instead. Like I don't know.
It could have been anything else. It could have been like a
skill would've been
quest
cool, I
or
think.
something. A skill, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about you, KidCapes? Or did you already say your part? I don't know.
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we're moving on.
This man's sleepy.
Takuto, yeah, because I go to sleep at 8:30, and then
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock.
Cold ass man.
It's 11 o'clock.
It's because I wake up at 4:30 to go to the gym. That's why.
That's fair. I give you that.
Yeah, like have you seen my muscles lately? Look at this.
All right, bro. Stop gassing yourself up. Next question.
One time my coworker was like, "You look like you go to the gym," and I was like, "Do I?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Do I?
No, but they're like, no, but then it was like a sneak diss because they're like, "Yeah, I used to be kind of chubby before, but now
That's crazy.
But I can see your neck now," and I'm like, "What?"
That's crazy.
That's like really mean.
Yeah, it went from being like, "Oh, that's kind of nice," to being like, "Okay, I'm calling HR now."
Yeah.
That is actually insane.
But it's because they were like over 50. A lot of the people over 50 at my job are like unhinged.
People over 50 don't give a shit.
They have no family left. They have no friends.
They have
left.
nothing to lose.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just gonna go out in flames. Okay. Oh, Takuto Maruki, also known as Nathan, he says, what are some improvements or changes introduced in Vengeance that you would want to see carried over or further refined in SMT 6? I like the combination skill thingy that you guys that they added. I forgot what it's called. That thing was cool. I liked it. I just wish it was more useful. But I like how it's thematic.
And passive skills, the innate skills, that'd be cool.
For me, it's Demon Haunts.
Demon Haunts, yeah.
Oh, also,
without stats.
Actually, never mind. I was gonna say the what are they called? The tentacle shit that used to cover the map before in base 5. What are those called again?
Abscess.
Yeah, the abscesses. I feel like this wasn't introduced in Vengeance, of course, but I think that they're still there, but they don't like cover the map anymore.
Yeah, which is cringe. What's the point of killing them then? Anyway, go on.
Yeah, I agree. But anyway, point I'm making is I think that in future games they should keep those, but like instead of like an abscess, it should be like the domains from SMT4. I think they should bring those back and like they should make them like actually like themed areas for certain gods or whatever. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
The idea
I have a feeling that was an idea at first because if you look at the first trailer, you actually see a domain that looks like from 4 in the corner.
Lots of scrapped ideas. What about you, Spiderino?
It was basically the same things, the haunts, the innate skills. I don't really like the open world stuff. I like how it looks, and I like the idea of it, but I just don't really enjoy just playing hide and seek with me, man.
Same.
I love the collectathon aspect, actually. That's the best part of the open world. Is I did like going around trying to find the me man, but I
like some of them for the dialogue, but a lot of it is just fluff, and there's not a lot interesting with them.
Yeah, that was my issue. Like I felt like that combined with like the fact that the platforming is like kind of sucky. Like I lost motivation to do that after like the first couple hours.
I didn't do all of them, but in the original release I did. I did like there were like 200 of them.
Yeah, it's only 200.
I found all of them. Only 200.
Well, it's because it's only tedious the second time around. That's like, yeah, if you do it one time, it's like, oh, okay, now it's kind of cool, I guess.
I,
So go ahead.
I don't like how it also doesn't tie in anything. You just click the Mimon and then you get the reward from what's his name, Maman?
Gustav.
Gustav.
He's like the best character in the game besides Amabia.
Yeah, the best character who doesn't even have a side quest.
You don't even
he's
get
the
to do
mean
anything with
one.
him. You should be able to fight him. You should be able to beat his ass.
That'd be
Well,
so crazy if
I
he's like
wish he
an
would have
Uber
said something about the Mimon lore or something, but no,
Yeah.
he just like, here's your ward and that's it. Bye.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't even say anything. He just, I don't know,
I
it's
like
very
the
gamey.
idea.
And
Because if you think about it, all these like a lot of the new things are just replacements of old like staples. He's literally just what's his name, the
Rags.
DM guy. Yeah, it's just Rags.
yeah, he is just Rags. And Rags doesn't ever have much anything to say either.
But Rags was cool in Nocturne. He was
Rags
kinda
is
lame in the
awesome.
other ones. He just looks
great.
cool in the old ones, but he doesn't have anything like behind those eyes.
I like Gustav. I just feel like it would have been nice if they explained more of the Mimon or whatever they're called.
Or Gustav himself. That would have been if they explained him at all.
Yeah, like what even is he? Where's he live? He's in a dimension somewhere.
Yeah,
He's
he's
vibing,
like
bro.
chained to a chair for some reason. Like why? Why are you like this?
He's on house arrest, bro.
I know. The feds. They're after him. All right, next question from Matt Fraish. You likely saw Marsh's video.
You saw it, right? You watched it.
Of course.
I didn't watch it.
We're all friends here.
I'm messing around. Yeah.
You likely saw Marsh's video bringing up that all the freebies, Gospels, Grimoires, free stats in Haunt, etc. He thinks the franchise might be moving away from Fusion, or at least at the least give more people choice not to do it. Do you think the franchise is going in that direction? I don't think so. It's a staple. I think that they are giving people options to keep your favorite like demons for as long as possible.
I think that's what he means though. Like, because like normally, like, the older games, demons were more static, so that you had to fuse.
Yeah.
So I think that is true in that sense. But like, I think fusion's like a staple. Like, it's not going anywhere. But like, the focus isn't just on that anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think that's the intention, though. I think the intention is just to make it as easy as possible for people to get through. That's it. That's just the motivation, to make it easy, streamline it, so people aren't feeling discouraged and drop the game.
Well, I agree with that, but
And
I
then
think
all that other stuff,
they're related. So you know,
all that other stuff is just, a consequence of that decision.
yeah.
Because in hard mode, you have to fuse. You need to fuse to keep up. But if you're playing normal, I assume I didn't play normal, so I don't know.
You don't.
I assume
to.
it's gonna be a breeze. You're just gonna slap through everything.
You can keep the same demons for like most of the game.
Which is what I did, and you have
that's what I
Tao and
did too.
Yoko.
Well,
I feel like the only part I had to fuse in this game was like for Tiamat. Tiamat was like a real DPS check.
I didn't fuse for Tiamat, but I
Well,
also
actually, I
beat
didn't,
Demi
yeah.
Fiend before I beat her.
I mean, that's wild.
He's like, you Tiamat's really difficult. Literally everyone else, nope.
Everyone I talked to said she was hard, bro. That's crazy.
She's not.
It's a pretty easy boss, but it's fun.
Well, yeah,
It's
I
a
feel
fun
like
boss.
the issue wasn't that she was
Gimmick.
hard, is that she kept healing at the end, so like I couldn't kill her without having the correct DPS or whatever. That's what I meant by I said DPS check. Like the actual fight is like not difficult. Like it's pretty simple. It's just a matter of getting past that one choke point.
Well,
Stay
Yeah.
with me. Skill
Like,
issue.
part of the argument I tried to make is like, I think it's like artistically bad because when you're getting drowned in free shit, you don't really feel like you're like it contrasts the apocalyptic environment, like you're just being like propped up basically. Like the devs kind of don't really trust you, so it's like I don't know.
They definitely don't trust us.
Yeah, from a Ludo narrative standpoint, I hated it because I don't like the idea that even on the harder settings, I'm still not struggling because of all the easy free stuff. It made it to the point where I'm like, if you want to actually play the game, you have to like in a way that like is difficult. You have to take away things from your playthrough, which is not how you should.
You should ignore
play.
it. Yeah. You shouldn't have to balance your own game.
Yeah.
Even
like,
they throw demons at you too. It's like, oh, you didn't fuse something. Here's Cleopatra. Here's Tao. Here's Elder Mech. Congrats.
Yeah, there was
get-
But
like
here's Committer.
The meter,
You
yeah,
know?
you can get everything. Yeah.
yeah, my way of balancing it like was I didn't save. Like I would just play the game for a long period of time without saving. And the only time I lost lost progress is because I forgot to charge my Switch and it died. So I had to play like Minato all over again. And I was like, cool, thank you. Luckily, it wasn't that big of a deal, but you know,
That's rough.
like, no, like, well, it wasn't rough. That's my problem. This game
It was too easy.
Yeah, I was like, I should just watch Marsh's video instead. Like literally,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my biggest complaint. Well, besides the story, that's my biggest complaint is I did not. Yeah, and I hope it's not going that way.
People are split on this. Like I thought people were gonna shit on me and say like Marsh, like shut up you old ass. But no, like people actually agree with me. It's like a 50-50 split. So I think it's interesting. It's like an actual
It's-
conversation.
Yeah,
I think with SMT, like a mainline, there's always a ton of criticism, so it's a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Well, what made your video good is that after your video, because you had like I watched like the other people's criticisms. I haven't seen yours yet, but I've seen the criticisms or the conversations that spawn from yours. In almost every other video, there's not really any like hard criticisms. A lot of them are very kind of like it's good. It does everything better, but they don't. Yeah, they don't really stress any of the actual issues enough. So then in your video, it seems like you brought up like valid points that didn't border on I'm just an elitist, so people couldn't just write it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like that because now I can drop my video where I am an elitist.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna release that video. That video is staying in the vault forever.
Aw,
Yeah, it's
man.
funny because like I expected you to be way more right here in this. You're like very tempered in this.
I'm it's because I forgot a lot of what I wrote down, or like I don't know the context of my notes anymore. So like so much of it is kind of just like gibberish that I thought that I wrote thinking I'd understand later. Like I don't know. I can't like I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, what does this mean? Because like
I haven't even gone to like 1/10 of my notes.
my notes are 7 pages long. So and I don't know. I know some of it because the first 2 pages are just the things I really didn't like. But like they seem so dumb now that I'm reading it. I'm like, I was really nitpicking it like at a point. But
Yeah.
No, don't say yup that quick.
No, I agree because like a lot of my issues with Vengeance is like it's like a bunch of nitpicks that like all add up.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I explain them like one by one, I sound insane. It's like I don't understand.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. But my nitpicks are probably worse than yours because the things I think are issues are like so non-issues that only a very like select people, like out of 1,000 people, like 4 people will be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, no, I think that's
Say
important.
one of them.
to
Say
hear.
one of them.
You should do it. You should do it. Make the video.
No, I'm not gonna say anything on
Just say one of them, bro. We're 3 hours deep, bro. It's fine.
It's a valuable perspective because nobody else will probably
No,
say
I
it.
hate that argument. No perspective matters. It's such a dumb. Like, I genuinely like. That's when people ask my thoughts on something. I'm like, why? Like, what I think about it matters so little. Just play the game
Atlas
yourself.
watches the videos. They took feedback. They
Yeah,
changed
they'll
the
watch your
scaling.
video. Like, I'll send them your link. They'll be like, oh, what did you think about it? Oh, same thing as this guy. Just watch it. No, but anyway, let's read the next one. It's from Daily Fig, who's a Soul Hackers 2 fan. Scale of 1 to 10. How unhinged is Yoko? I feel like she's like a 3. She tries to be unhinged, but she's not.
Like an 8. She tells Tao to kill people.
That's edgy. It's not unhinged.
Like
It's supposed
straight
to-
faced, like murder people.
I mean, she did grow up at a school that trained her to be an assassin, basically.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
she's deranged. 8 out of 10.
No, she's not. She's definitely not.
I feel like Yoko was weird where like she is like crazy, but she's also just like kind of stupid too. It's like it's not hard for me to place her in there. So it goes both ways. I can't tell if she's stupid or crazy.
So in my
She's Hazama tier.
in my
Kinda.
script, my critique of her is, which is why I brought it up earlier about communism, is that she's a theory bro. She's literally like, have you read Marxist? And she just brings up a bunch of like very, very dumb theory stuff that doesn't apply to the situation that she's talking about.
It's not even that. She's not even a theory, bro. She like quotes stuff, but like hasn't read it.
That's what I'm saying. She comes off so dumb that I'm like, you're not unhinged. You just want me to think you're unhinged. It's like those guys that you would see like in early Photoshop days or early like internet days that would be like, oh, I could be your angel or your devil. You know, it's like Yoko's not unhinged. She just wants you to think that. She listened to Linkin Park and she's like, you don't know crazy music till you listen to Faint by Linkin Park. Like that's the vibe I get from her. You know,
She is definitely unhinged. Okay.
she's a neckbeard. She's a neckbeard.
She's like a borderline
she's a little bit of-
sociopath, right? Like she watches that guy die and she's like, well, it's okay.
She is, to be fair,
She's
she
a
is early game, but
psychopath.
late game she changes a bit. So
No, she's
I'll
a
give her that much.
psychopath.
She becomes a
She
psychopath
sends
later.
Lilith to kill Sahori, and then she goes over to tell, like, oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the way I
crazy.
read her saying that is in that one neckbeard voice, which is like, "Oh, are you okay? I didn't think I can't even do it, but you know what I'm talking about."
I really don't. I really don't. I have no idea.
You know,
She's
okay. She's like terminally online. I don't think she's unhinged.
She sits back and watches Dazai take the blame for Miyazu being kidnapped. While the
That shit was
user is
crazy,
about to
bro.
kill
I was
him.
like, oh my god.
Okay, but that's funny.
She's terrible.
No, that's funny. That's funny. I like that. Keep it up, Yoko. She's still a 3 though. Wait, Glib, what number did you say she was? Like a 5 or 6?
Probably a 5, bro. It's hard to classify her because she's weird.
All right, we have 2 more questions. Well, at least on these ones, I don't know. Username Usado? Does anyone have the timeline for when would the next game available or a prediction? Like the ones we don't.
Asking for leaks. I don't have any.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Sorry. I mean, I have all the information. Wink, wink.
My guess, 8 years.
No, I think SMT 6 is like, what is it, 2024? Maybe 2028 or 2027.
Really? That's kind of crazy.
That's my prediction because they already have the engine. They're gonna recycle this engine.
I don't think they would go from one main line to the next. I think they would spin off between though. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
This was the spin-off between.
I guess it's not wrong. I guess, but
I would like to see a spin-off project, though. That sounds very nice, especially since it's all been a lot of the same stuff lately.
My ideal would be either just a new IP that's in the Megaten like sphere, kind of like a Desu or something, where it's just something just not related to mainline or Persona. That would be the dream, or continuing literally any of these dead franchises, because there's so many dead ones. Just pick one.
Yeah.
Bring it back for one game. But that's, I don't know. Okay, last question from Sotriev. Sorry. Theories on who Yoko's goddess is, and once for how the next mainline goes playstyle.
What? That is not coherent.
I don't know what they're saying.
I think he's asking, what do you want the next mainline to be like? Story-wise and gameplay-wise?
And once for how the next mainline goes playstyle. That's words.
It sounds.
Don't be rude.
Wishes for how the next mainline game goes, playstyle-wise and storyline.
No, I like reading it straightforward, like a full sentence. I don't like doing what you did. And once for how the next mainline goes, playstyle and story.
They're gonna see this. I'm gonna tell them you did this.
Yeah, he's already seeing it.
I'm sorry. I mean, I apologize.
Sorry, Sotrieve. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes.
I'll go first, I guess.
Yeah.
I kind of think she might be Amaterasu. I'm not certain. She might. Okay, so basically in the game, they explained that Amaterasu vanished 18 years ago. Spider explained that. Because if you think about it, Yoko got sealed 18 years ago, so maybe she's Amaterasu. Maybe they both are. I'm not sure. If she's not Amaterasu, I have no idea who she is.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm sorry. I have no idea.
Yeah. Honestly, also, I'm not sure if these goddesses, like the creation goddesses, or even like actual goddesses, they might just be like OCs.
I think they're supposed
They're definitely OCs.
Yeah.
They're that, but they're also something else too.
I think that they have like I think they're supposed to embody like the essence of the respective like two sides or something, like the bull and the serpent or something. I think they're supposed to
Yeah.
be vaguely reminiscent of it, but they're like, yeah, there are OCs. I don't think they're meant to be anyone in particular.
So I think how it starts out is that the creation goddess was made, right? And so I don't know if or not what's her name? Yoko's was either a snake or a bull or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
she was made from the creation goddess absorbing Amaterasu, right?
Yeah,
I think. And
that's
then that was combined with whatever the creation goddess is made of, maybe a throne and the bull god. But she abandons her duty when she joins up with the Kadishtu, right? And I think that turns her into a snake goddess. That's why she's associated with home. She has the big void on her back with the water, the primordial water, and all that, and she's the red color.
mm-hmm.
Because you see into home, it has the eyes. There's the red one and a green one that's kind of bluish, and
Yeah.
they Yoko and Tao have the red and blue thing going on too. And then with Yoko or Tao, I think she's basically the creation goddess and the bull god. At first, I thought it was Ashtart, but I think it's like, the throne is like from the throne of God, right? It's guarded by actual thrones, the angels, right? So
Yeah.
I thought maybe that Tao was that and the bull god, and then Amaterasu all mixed together to make this fan fiction goddess. And Yoko and Tao are basically fan fiction goddesses.
See, yeah, I mean, some of what you're saying is kind of what I thought, but a lot of what you're saying is also kind of insane. So
Yeah, I know it sounds insane. When you try to figure things out in this on this mess, it's just like, okay, what were they
yeah,
thinking? What are the clues they gave you, and what were they thinking? And it's
yeah.
insane because there's so many different cultures that are all just merged together to make all these different themes, right? You have the throne from Judaism, and then you have, or yeah, is
So
it that
yeah,
one? Or
the re-
Christianity. It might be Christianity, actually. I'm not sure which one. I don't remember. Anyway, and you've got the mandala system from the Buddhist bit, and then you've got this Tahom and all that, and it's all like a
it's
bunch of
just
different cultures all mixed together to
yeah.
make this cosmic rebirth.
The reason why I can't even make fun of your like thought process is because I wouldn't be surprised if some or a lot of it is accurate based on the way that it is just an amalgamation of different thought processes of different religions, and it really does feel kind of cherry picking a bunch of stuff rather than like it's really supposed
It's
to
not
be.
just one thing.
Yeah,
It's not an easy answer.
which is a good thing in my opinion, because I don't like how for the most part older Megaten is just Buddhism and Judeo Christianity. I like that this one kind of feels like it's a combination of just a bunch of different ideas that are similar ish or adjacent to, but it's too confusing. They definitely needed to fine tune it. So SMT6 better be simpler than that, but less simple or more complicated than old SMT.
Yeah, it's
No,
not an easy balance at all. I don't know what they're going to do. They've got
yeah.
their work cut out for them.
Um, what they should do is they should hire Koji Okada because he's not doing anything. I don't think he said. I think he hinted at working on a new game, but is he though?
He did, yeah.
Is it poker?
Yeah,
He says he's making a new game that's.
you cut out again.
He says he's making a new game that's similar to Megaten.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
So him and Suzuki are both making a Megaten inspired game.
metaphor.
Thanks,
I guess
Hanako.
Suzuki's making a novel, not a game.
Oh yeah, sorry, a novel. It's gonna
You
be
mean
trash,
Kaneko?
though. No, Suzuki, the guy who
Oh.
did Giten and I don't know what else he did. He did that porn game that I played
Monarch?
on stream.
Monarch. Ew, jeez.
Oh, Monarch. Yes. The
See, I
best
never.
part of Monarch is Nishitani's comments in the interviews.
Literally, yeah.
I don't even know what he said. I don't know.
I don't remember him either, honestly.
That game was
I-
supposed to be so good.
Monarch, I got a review code for Monarch. I never
Me
did
too.
it.
And I didn't.
I
review
never
it.
finished. I got to the twist and I was like, oh, this is terrible.
It's
And
so
I
bad.
dropped it.
I should probably play it. No, I'm not gonna play it. I have
They
too
said
many
it would be
games
like
to play.
the next. They had like a super group. There was like, this is gonna be like the next like SMT like if type game.
Well,
So it
that's how.
shouldn't be
That's
like-
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be extravagant or super great, but it's bad. The writing's bad. That's the worst
it's very
part.
bad.
I think
Yeah.
that's kind of what makes it funny is that I used to think that it was everybody working together that made the games good, but now I'm like, was it just Cozy and Kaneko?
It probably was.
It's kind of funny
I-
too. Like, I have a recent release too for a video I'm working on, and like apparently like Suzuki wasn't even that involved in If. So like, what is he doing there for Monarch? Like, what?
He was taking all the credit. That's why.
I think it's because those developers really, the If was one of their favorite games, so they really wanted to do If. The If is got some relation to the SMT one, right?
I guess.
It's like an alternate timeline.
Yeah, it's barely there, but it does exist, and there's still the same logic that is there too.
I wish it turned out better.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at least it's no 13-month.
But yeah, 13th month is probably the worst Megaten adjacent thing I've ever played. It's like so bad. Like it genuinely is like the worst game I've played. Period. But it's like
Really?
one of the worst. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just not good media in any. If you told me,
I should play it. I'm interested.
you should because it's so bad, and I think that if you
Yeah.
made a video on it, it would be funny because it is awful. It is genuinely bad, and luckily it's super short too. It's like less than 5 hours or 6 hours. I don't know how long it took me to.
Oh, I gotta play it. I'll play it now. 5 hours.
Only play it if you can get it for really cheap or free. No, you don't think you can get it free.
For the second half of the question for playstyle and storyline, I trust them to do a good game system, even if it's not great, like Soul Hackers 2, the gameplay system. There's some good ideas there, but it's kind of slow and not really up to standard yet. But I think it'll be fine. I don't care what they do as long as it's decent. The storyline, though, that's with mainline. You're getting the same storyline over and over. It's just different flavors.
Yeah.
I do think they should focus more on the side quests, though, like with RMIT and Kinemon. Those kind of moments really make the game and tie them into the main story, and I think that works really well. Better than having things all on screen, usually.
Yeah.
One of the.
I think for me, the main thing is like
Sorry, go
gameplay wise, I would like a first person dungeon crawler. That's never happening, so I'll just get over
Yeah,
that.
please.
But
please do.
yeah, story wise, I think the main thing is like I would like a different setting. Anything other than Tokyo would be great. Hey, let me put that further. Anything other than Japan would be great.
I said this in another stream, but like I want to see America just in that universe. Like, what happened to it? Or Europe.
I would take America, but
Oh,
like
Digital Devil
that's not
Saga.
my preference. I'd rather like somewhere else. I don't know, China, Egypt, anywhere, bro. Anywhere that's like more low key.
I can't imagine them picking China. That's
They probably would, but I'm just saying. China's a lot of history to work with. That's how I said it.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
that
saying
would be a very controversial pick, I think.
It would be. It
Yeah.
would be very bad form to pick. Like, yeah, I don't trust Atlas to do China.
Yeah, I don't either. No, actually, you're right.
I'm trying to find the most diplomatic way of saying it.
Now that you say that,
Yeah.
you may be correct. I don't know, like say Mexico. Then I don't know.
Yeah,
SMT set in
okay.
Mexico.
I mean,
that would
sure,
actually
yeah.
be good. That'd go hard. I'd play that.
We can go back to Antarctica.
Or
Or
different times
space.
too. Different areas would be also.
Actually, no, we can't go on space because that defeats the purpose of a lot of things.
They can make it
I-
work.
They could
Space, yeah.
do the whole like even prehistory thing, kind of like the Devilman hardcore reference, and be like, oh, this is before humanity.
This would be like a Yahweh origin story.
Yeah,
Him and Abraham. It'd be like what's his name in Dagda?
Doing a historical setting like 4, but actually a historical, well, maybe not actually a historical setting, but in a way to push it to seem like a historical setting, that'd be cool too.
Yeah, I mean, my
Like
main
go back to the Showa era during the right before the bubble burst. That would be cool.
my main the one thing that I've been wanting that I don't know if it's like just me, but I would love to do a game that's from the perspective of the demons, or even one that just takes place in the Makai, but not like as a transformed world, but like this is like them peering into our world kind of thing, or just seeing how that world is conceptualized without it being somehow merged or connected to Earth, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It has to be connected though, right? Because you
Well,
go from like Ostia to Aziluth, and then that's
no,
like
yeah,
they
it's
travel
connected in
between
that
those.
sense. It's
I
connected.
think he
in
means
that
like
sense.
physically.
Yeah, without it being physically connected, so demons can come to Earth. I'm talking about like, I would like for it to just. I would like to see what it looks like in isolation, in a normal day, basically.
That'd be cool.
But
Yeah.
it sounds kind of like a slice of life anime though, more than anything else.
I think you're right. I feel like a big thing that SMT struggles with is like not showing how things work on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm. It'd be
4
interesting.
comes close, I guess. You know, like the hunters, like association and all that. They could
It's
show
funny,
more
it's
about how
interesting,
they
like,
live.
Kind of, but like even then, it's like still in the context of an apocalypse. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Those are still extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
Okay, we should probably answer some of the questions that were in the chat, by the way.
I did put one of them, but the guy left, and like we already kind of answered his question after he left. So it was like, oh, whoopsies.
There's
But
only one question in the Steam, or not Steam. What's it called? The other
Twitch?
streaming Twitch. They just said, "Have you played Monster Kingdom Jewel Summoner?" It's the Okada game that he made when he left.
No.
I have not played it, but I'm sure it's ass.
I bought it, but I
Sure
haven't
it's
played
ass.
it. I mean, it was expensive, so it must be bad.
How much was it?
I bought it for like $100.
Oh my god, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
What
You
is
didn't
it?
wait for a sale?
You have a problem.
Why is it $100?
Well, I mean,
Is it a
it was
board game?
$100. I mean, I didn't buy it when it came out. I bought it after. That's probably the problem. It's
That's why.
It's $200 now.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's like a
$200 for mid is crazy.
PSP game.
That is crazy.
But I haven't played it. I've been wanting to play it, but I'm saving it for when I do like a history of Okada video. I wanted to play all of his games and talk about it. Well, at least the one.
You gonna wait for the new game to come out or no?
I was kind of waiting until I had just more interviews, because what I've been doing is I've been buying all the magazines, and almost every magazine that I've bought so far that says that it's a Megaten interview is just an Okada interview, and he just rambles. He just talks about whatever sometimes. But
I kind of like that though.
I do too, but I'm also like, can you like give me nuggets to work with? Because he never actually gives me like a really juicy thing to be like, oh, I can't wait to say that in a video or something.
Oh, he pulls a Wada.
Yeah, but I like that he's not as organized as like Wada, where he just says the same thing almost every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes me feel like he's more engaged in the conversation than me. You know what I mean?
Or yeah, like he's actually there.
Yeah. I feel like that's more of the issue like of the later interviews now. Like I feel like people are just kind of like saying nothing and like too shy to talk.
Yep.
I think it doesn't help that the interviewers ask the exact same questions over and over and over.
Yeah.
Because they don't bother reading the other interviews, so you just get the same things over and over and over, and it's really not interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Raccoon Pesticide asked, "What drew you guys to Megaten?" I've said this story a million times. My friend gave me a copy of Nocturne because he knew I liked Pokemon, and he knew I liked emo stuff because I was like into My Chemical Romance at the time. So he was like, "You'd like
I
this."
still
game.
am.
Yeah, and it was right. He's right. That's my stuff.
My cousin was playing Digital Devil Saga.
Nice.
Yep, that was it. And that, yep.
And then you were hunting for more.
It has a really good starting opening, honestly. Like, it opens up really interesting. It builds up a mystery. There's not a lot of other games that are good at building up a mystery like that.
Yeah.
In Megaten, anyways.
Yeah.
For me, it was like I used to browse a lot on like run hacking forums. So like I used to really like playing SNES JRPGs and stuff. Well, I still do, I guess, but that's how I found SMT1. And my friend's older brother Cause like I didn't like really get into the series until later. Like I played some, but like I wasn't like in the community. It's like I knew the series existed, but like I wasn't really into it until my friend's older brother. I was talking to him, and he introduced me to SMT4, and then I got into that.
Wow.
I mean, I started with Persona 4 Arena, but I guess like, why do I like Megaten? I always like moral choices in games. Like I used to love the Fable games, and they have that. But then, I guess I'm not super knowledgeable about it. But I've always been in like world religion, so it's like a game that has both of those like moral choices in like all of these world religions. It's kind of like the perfect series for me. So that's why I'm still playing so many of them.
That actually kind of helped me get into it too. Just the religious aspect, but specifically how it put a lot of the different mythologies and religions on the same playing field instead of, like Judeo-Christianity being like you can't really talk about it, but it's like a theme. It's actually just there with all the other mythologies. I liked that, and I also liked how it wasn't super heavy into Norse mythology. Or not Norse, Greco-Roman, because that's like the worst mythologies. Like I'm tired of those, and I'm glad
it's very common,
yeah, it is and I think that's what I liked about Megaten, like going forward too, is that they would kept introducing me to new, like, religions or spiritual practices and like worlds, or not worlds, cultures. But
definitely,
yeah.
Yeah, the religion stuff, the moral choices, and the puzzle box aspect of just trying to piece everything together. It's nice when something treats you like you can actually figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think like part of the appeal is like learning something too. Like I feel like one of the things I like about the older games is like they'll show you something new that you haven't heard of before, or some like weird theory or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, every game.
Every game, even
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
For me, at least.
I learned a lot about about like Mesopotamia from Vengeance. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Suddenly, I'm
also
an expert.
the politics too that are relating to real world events or eras and stuff. That's also interesting as well.
Yeah. Raccoon agreed with one of us. I don't know who they were agreeing with. I'm assuming me.
That's probably me.
It's probably Marsh, I think, because he was talking at that time.
No, it was definitely when I was talking.
It's a good question too.
Oh yeah, another one.
What
untranslated? Okay. Sorry, go ahead. No, you should read it. I haven't heard you read anything in a while. Read, please.
What untranslated Megaten thing do you want translated the most?
Well, I can read the games or read the manga, so I don't know.
I think for me, the obvious answer is Devil Summoner, but that's kind of the cheat answer though. So like, I'm gonna say Hazmat's Chapter.
Yeah.
I can't delete.
Imagine.
Imagine. Yeah. I'd say like they're translating like Tokyo Conception TTRPG or whatever, but there's a lot of other ones. There's an SMT2 one. There's an SMT1 one. There's an SMT if one. I'd love to see those.
There's two Nocturne ones.
I actually have a better thing. Megaten Maniacs. Translate that.
Know what it is.
I mean, I guess, but like, we can only read that though.
Yeah, we can.
It's like an art book or something.
Just a book.
But nobody else can, and then so you have less people to talk to about it.
No, I want people to watch my videos.
I want the ad revenue. I feel them. Hold up.
If it's translated, then what are they gonna watch? They're just gonna read.
No, they won't read. They won't read.
That's actually true. They won't read still. That's actually very true.
No, I think for me,
he's right. They won't read it even if it's translated.
Nobody will buy it.
When I think about like untranslated material, I mostly am like gravitating towards the super lost stuff. Like there's Marsh brought up the TTRPGs. There's a Strange Journey one. I would love that one.
That's crazy.
That'd be sick.
That'd be
what's another thing? There's a couple of manga that are super obscure. Besides the Avatar Tuner one that I'm scanning and that's going to be translated sometime this year. There's a digital a Devil Children White Book manga, and there's a couple of manga based on the tabletop RPGs that I would like to see. Or the Devil Children anime, both of them, because the second one, like, it's like lost media kind of. You there's like the series isn't complete. Like like it's not completely available online anywhere because they never released DVDs, so you only could get it through the VHSs or recordings people made. So I would like that, but that's like it's more related to the fact that you can't access it at all, period, anymore. Or the Devil Summoner TV show, that would be really good too.
Yeah, there's a couple episodes fan translated.
Yeah, imagine if they do
Just
the
a
whole
couple.
like the second season is so insane.
Yeah, it's a weird show.
They've got their very own Yoko.
Yeah. Maybe that's where she came from. No, she came from Makin. I think that's it. We can stop now. You guys don't have to talk anymore. All right. So thanks everybody for joining us for the first ever Ayakashi Monthly. I don't know if we're ever gonna do it again.
We've been
I
playing
didn't
this for
even get
like
to talk
2
about
years
the
now, bro.
Manyoshu.
Yeah.
This shit is not happening again.
We'll probably do it the next time any of us all play the same game, which is probably never. So yeah, it's probably never happening yet. Maybe when SMT 6 comes out.
If you want, one day we could do Rider 2.
Metaphor?
Say
I don't know.
Rido 2.
Yeah.
Wait, which one?
I haven't played Rider 2 yet. I want to play it sometime. So
All right, I'll do it because I have
do
a
wanna make
copy of it.
video on Reddit. Yeah, maybe we should do Reddit. I'm down. Well, we can do that, but let's not make anyone have hopes. That
I'm just saying that'd be a good idea. I don't know.
Let's not make anyone have hope.
yeah.
We're gonna do DDS2 also. I haven't played DDS2 yet, so I'll be mad at that
You're
either.
being kind of Tao. We got to be more like Yoko. We're despair.
What does that mean? Explain.
All right. Thanks everybody for